Welcome back to Apex Racing TV. Apologies for the late starts here. You join us in the opening race of BSR race night here at Laguna, Seca, and this is race one of the BSR Porsche Cup. We do have the first pass of the race saved and recorded, and we will load it to the Apex channel after the events tonight. And as I'm back here with Andrew Woodhouse and Alex Simpson. Andrew.
Yes, hello everybody. Great to be here. Laguna, Seca, fantastic circuit. We've had 4 laps. Christian Rose into the lead. Because Daniel Hunt and Matt Bunn came together in the first corner, and that resulted in the CQR car spinning round. So the crash between Dan Blake and Steve Hefford. Apart from that, pretty much everyone else has survived. Ewan Tyndall is out, and Josh Thompson didn't take the start because he is ill.
There we go. It is a 10-lap race. We're on lap 4 of a 10-lap race. And Alex Simpson, hello, welcome.
Yeah, hello everybody. Really sorry about that tonight. Unfortunately, with when you work in tech support and you're on call, sometimes these things happen. I couldn't quite get me my support case finished before the stream come up tonight, and so that's where I was. So I do apologise. That work gets in the way sometimes.
Matt Bunn might need some support if he keeps spinning the car around in every race, but yeah, this time it was not his doing. The doing of Daniel Hunt, so yeah, those two, well, I say that, I'm not sure whose fault it was, but the result in Bunn getting spun round, drop into the midfield. He's back into 8th place now. He just put a move on, that was Adam Delmont that's on the previous lap. He's now got championship leader Sam Kumo in front of him.
Josh Valentine spun at the corner before the corkscrew, just before the Railhouse straight. He's got back going again. It's been a pretty bad lap from him.
Yeah, Valentine's had mixed results, hasn't he, so far in this season? He ended up in orbit, didn't he, last week? So hopefully he can come a trip to space. And the muscles are ready and raring to go.
Going through now to start lap 5 of the race. Christian Rose then 2.3 second lead over Dan Hunt. Miles Kurtzels had a very good race up to 3rd. Dan Brown 4th. Ashley Blake Hood finally having some good luck, Alex. He seems to have been spun around or off at most times since we've started this season, but yeah, up inside the top 5 for the time being. As he spins!
Oh my goodness me. Oh no, Matt Bunn!
Takes his teammate out with him as well. If you're going to do it in style, I say. So
I think that wins commentator's first season, doesn't it? I think
Paul Cinnamon gets himself disqualified as well because of it. So.
That nickname's going to stick, isn't it?
Actually, what can I say?
Someone else around, Dempsey.
Oh. And he's another one who just hasn't really finished a lot of races this season.
Bunn's been disqualified as well.
Oh, dear. Bunn is done. And that leaves... Actually, Daniel Hunt, is he closing in a little bit? And Christian Rose did a 24.3 last time round. What's he going to do this time?
It's closed in 3 tenths.
24.5 and 24.1 for Daniel Hunt. So 4 tenths of a second quicker. And,
4 tenths?
Yes. So, not over yet. It's a 10-lap race. 4 laps to go. If he closes at that rate, he's going to be right with him at the end.
And he holds the fastest lap of the race as well. 1:23.2 for Dan Hunt. Steve Hefford spins again. In fact, he's been disqualified. Yeah, Dan Hunt. Being very good in both BSRTC and BSR Porsche, and he's proving himself yet again here. And closing the gap down to 1.8 seconds on this lap. So another 10th of a second taken out in the opening sector of the lap.
Actually, Blake Hood is still going. He's in 16th place and he's coming side by side with Josh Valentine, and going through is Ashley Blake Hood. So Alex, even though he got completely rogered, shall we say, damage doesn't look too bad.
Yeah, I think he's
still going, isn't he?
Exactly. Just needs to keep it together. Got to finish, and the points in the BSR mean everything.
Main thing.
Of course, the reverse grid too. Ashley Blake Hood at the moment, as things stand, will be 3rd on the grid for the second race of the day. Is it a straight full in this series? Or is
mistake from number 108, David White. Championship leader is Sam Kumo, and he's right behind him. Reverse grid on Championship Order, it should be.
Okay.
No, it wasn't last week, but there was a couple of issues with setting the grid up. But yeah, it should be that. So Kumo should be roughly near the back. Start the next one.
And of course, we saw most of these guys racing in the Porsche 911s on Friday in the BSR Billy Whiz fundraiser.
Yeah, that was a great night, wasn't it? And a lot of the Porsche guys had a lot of fun out there, as did the Kias. Alex, Sam Kumo, obviously we know him well, Finnish driver, very experienced, former Verizon IndyCar champion in iRacing, and he's done a great job so far of, he's going to go through, no he doesn't, but he's done a great job this season, just finishing races off goes David White, that's well off, another snake, isn't it? But yeah, that's what you need to do, isn't it, Alex? You've said it many times. You know, points mean prizes, don't they?
Yeah, that's it, exactly that.
And he missed one race meeting, and he's still top of the table, which says a lot about how he's driven. Very solid.
Michael Blake versus Adam McNally going on here. This is all as a result of Michael Blake overshooting the corkscrew. Who's that also behind? That's Dan Blake, who's recovering after a mistake at the start.
He's had a crash, Dan Blake, hasn't he? And he's up there in the top 10.
Yeah, he crashed with Hefford, was it?
Yeah, it's very, very good indeed from Daniel Blake.
Up down to 1.3 at the front, by the way, as well. Another 4 attempts taken out by Dan Hunt on Christian Rose.
Here comes McNally, Adam. The inside.
He comes, yeah, the inside.
Another Adam. There's plenty of Adams around in BSR, we've seen that. And,
popular name.
yeah, up the inside into the original name, isn't it? Up the inside into the Andretti hairpin, and through goes Adam McNally in the Youth Energy car. And Michael Blake is one of the admins for another series that we do on Apex Racing TV, ASRC Sports Car Series. Blake is down to 9th position. Oh, could it be 10th? Because Dan Blake's thinking about it.
Credit to Dan Blake. Started at the back, had that crash, and he's still 10 positions higher than where he started now. Blake, and he's ironically in 10th as they go. Oh, and off goes McNally. Surely he's off. Oh, somehow he made the corner.
Okay.
I saw the lock-up and saw him understeering wide, and I thought immediately that was him.
Oh, Landerball's gone. Oh, he's disqualified. Oh, no.
And he won't be coming back again. There you go.
Gafenku versus Dempsey into the corkscrew. Dempsey's a bit quicker, but he's generally a bit more error-prone, I think. Has been, at least this season. But doing a good job. He's looking very quick here, and he's monstering Gafenku. We're going to have a look into the final corner. Gafenku leaves the door open. It's a bit too far back for Dempsey to have a go this time. Now he steps on the power. Good drive out of the final corner. Lights flashing. And on to the final lap. Or Alex, either one's good.
Sorry, lap 10 and final lap of the race. Sorry, I was looking at something completely different on the timing screen as Christian Rose now on his way to the corkscrew.
Somebody speak to me! Yeah, final lap, mate, final lap.
Through the corkscrew then, Dan Hunt, he looks like he's dropped off a bit on the last 2 laps. The gap now up to 2 seconds, and Christian Rose should be about to take the opening victory of the day.
Good penultimate corner then. He's just got this tight left-hander to come. Nice and easy for the CQR driver. Out the final corner he comes, lights flashing, and Christian Rose wins the first race of the evening here on BSR Race Night. Well done to him. Well done to Daniel Hunt as well, who was involved in contact in the first corner. Survived the race, Miles Klutzley in P3, Daniel Brown in 4th, 5th is Sam Kumo. Adam Delmont coming across just in 6th ahead of David White. Adam McNally is going to take 8th ahead of Michael Blake. Then it's Dan Blake in 10th, Taylor Lane 11th, Richard Gafenku 12th, Richard Dempsey in 13th, Conrad Venter having started from the pit lane 14th, and then we're just waiting on, oh dear, Josh Valentine. What's happened to his car? Oh, disqualified, no!
Oh no, literally within metres of the line.
Oh, final corner, Valentine, well, gone. And Ashley Blakehood will be happy, he'll take a place, thank you very much. And we're just waiting on Stephen Minton.
who is...
I remember he had a couple of issues in the Billy Wiz fundraiser, actually, didn't he?
Yeah, going into the penultimate corner now. I haven't deleted all the paint, so he's still got his Billy Wiz fundraiser paint on my screen anyway as he goes into the final corner.
Well, if any of them do, we're not sorry because it was a very good cause. Still donate, of course, to that. Over the line he comes.
Cross the line and takes 15th place.
16th. 16th place, yeah. But that's still a place higher than he was when this lap started. Josh Valentine, oh dear me, what a mess that was. Simon Landemore, 18th. Matthew Bunn, 19th. 20th, Steve Hefford. 21st, Jason Greenfield. 22nd, Ewan Tyndall. Josh Thompson, 23rd. And Nick McCarron did not take the start. Right, Adam, that was a very, very good, enjoyable first Porsche race, that one.
Yeah, good first race to kickstart the day, and now we're going to see and get ready for 50 plus Kia Optimas ready to tackle this 3.6 kilometre circuit. So without further ado, as their qualifying will just be about to get underway, we'll take a quick break here and you can join the three of us after the break, where round 1 of the day in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship will be getting underway.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
Truex in the outside, contact made, 56 slides in at a 4, who's going to be at the stripe, dead even, give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
Welcome back to BSR Race Night from Laguna Seca Circuit in the United States. Andrew Woodhouse and Adam Bath with Alex Simpson on the cameras, bringing you all the action from this famous circuit. And Adam, it was a good race in the Porsche, but now it's a completely different animal, isn't it? 50 cars out on the circuit. It's going to be a bit crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, definitely. There's going to be very little space for the drivers to manoeuvre themselves about during these 4 races, and we've got some big names racing as well. Of course, the return of Ash Sutton. He was racing in the Billy Whiz fundraiser at the weekend. He's back here in the BSRTC today. Of course, we were supposed to be racing at Oulton Park last week before we got too big for our boots, you could say. We're now racing around Laguna Seca, and yeah, we'll see how these drivers can get on.
Sutton has actually taken provisional pole position. We're nearly at the end of qualifying. Really interesting to see if anybody can take that away from him. The top 4 drivers are separated by 1/10 of a second. Such is the quality of this series these days.
Are you ready for the points as well?
Yeah, why not? So David Baker, he leads the way, 2,121 points. Wyselian Chepelewski in second, Nicole Foggy is third, and Daniel Kraft is fourth. Sven Glatzel is in 5th position. Then it's Michael Hall. Then behind Michael Hall, it's Jake Blackhall. Then it's Richard Gore, George Simmons, and rounding out the top 10 is Kip Stevens. In the AM category, Nicole Foggy leads the way. So a fantastic start to the season. John Roberts in P2, Stuart Atkinson third, Robbie Verke in 4th, Thorsten Helgeson in 5th, Andrew Whitehead 6th, 7th Max Wright, 8th Rob Graham, 9th Scott Malcolm, and 10th Simon Roden. In the Teams Championship, CQR S-Line have a 333 point lead ahead of Apex Racing, with Pro Sim in 3rd, CQR Race Hub in 4th, Boosted Motorsport 5th, Fanatec in 6th, Northern Lights Racing in 7th, Sim Gear 8th, Automate Knock Hill in 9th, ahead of the Automate Performance team. Falatech in 11th, and GTA Mega Racing are 12th.
Great, and now I've got the responsibility of doing the grid.
Well,
that's
you're
cool.
hoping to get away with it.
No, don't worry, I do it every week.
You might as well start now.
Yeah, might as well start now. 50 car grid. I don't think much is going to change here anyway. Running through the grid then. Pole position does go to Ash Sutton, second Ricardo Castroledo, third for Stelian Chapelevsky, fourth for Frederick Rasmussen, fifth for Wojciech Savidovic. Then it's David Baker in sixth position. How does he do it these days? I do not know. Seventh Alex Malensky, eighth Richard Gore, ninth Andreas Katz, and 10th for Diogo Melro. 11th for Michael Hall, 12th Pete Harrod, 13th Jake Blackhall, with George Simmons 14th, Jack McIntyre 15th, 16th Dan Kraft, 17th Stuart McFadden, 18th Mark Woodhouse, 19th Julian Janowski, and 20th John Roberts. Then it's Paul Smith, who was able to grab a win in was it the Formula Renault? No, it wasn't the Formula Renault. He managed to grab a win in something the other week. 22nd Lee Berridge, 23rd Kip Stevens, Rusty Layla 24th, 25th Max Stephen Baxter, 26th Max Wright, 27th Rob Graham, 28th Laura Bond, 29th Scott Malcolm, and 30th for Anwar Smith, 31st Alex Everett, 32nd Ross McFarlane. Then it's Michael Blakehop from the Porsches in 33rd, 34th Stuart Atkinson, then Matthew Keeber 35th, 36th Gareth Hickling, Andrew Whitehead 37th with Jamie Ayres 38th, 39th Steve Richardson, and 40th Law Murray. And then the cars are all starting at the back of the grid. And Glatzel and Colin Cunniff 41st and 42nd, then Ben Hackison, Nicole Foggy, Roy Verke, Nathan Davis, Matt Bunn, Forstein Helgerson, Simon Roden, and starting at the back in 50th position, it's Dave Christie.
Right then, very good. So, 10 laps of this Laguna Seca circuit, 4 times tonight, and take a quick look at the track conditions. And they're pretty good for racing. 21 degrees air temperature, mostly cloudy, and 23 degrees track temperature in Northern California. And that should make the tyre wear fairly manageable. And it's not always easy around this circuit, but I'm sure the drivers will be able to cope with it.
So, yeah, we haven't got too long to go. Just a few cars at the front of the grid waiting to take their spots on the grid. And, yeah, 10-lap race, 15 minutes or so.
Oh, he's back.
They're not getting disqualified this early, are they? That's another thing we could watch out for, really. There's not much tarmac runoff area around this circuit, so the drivers will have to watch those incidents. Only 11 here.
Yeah, we saw a few people getting disqualified in the Porsche, didn't we? So hopefully nobody will really get disqualified here, but we'll see. It's definitely a possibility. Right then, the drivers starting well around the final corner, aren't they?
Almost jump into the pits if they wanted, I think. So if there was any late change of conditions,
quick dive. Yeah, quick dive into the pits.
They just hear of a huge pile up and then decide to bail out.
You could do that, definitely. Here we go then, everybody. Round 1 of the BSRTC tonight. Round 29 of the season. Going to be underway momentarily.
Here we go.
Right, revs are building then. 50 Kia Optimas are going to go into battle. Now! Oh, look at Castellino moving right across already. Try and stay inside. Oh dear me, he's trying to stay in front of Stelian Chapelevsky. He's got a fantastic start. He might be able to even get ahead of Ash Sutton into the Andretti hairpin. Sutton covers the line. He stays in front. Chapelevsky maintains second. Not a good tactic for Ricardo Castellino. He loses out, and Chapelevsky for Apex Racing UK up into second place. And Ricardo Castellino down to third. Fourth is Frederick Rasmussen, right behind his teammate. And it's reigning champion Wojciech Savidovic. And then the man who finished second last season, David Baker, in P6. This is the sort of grid that we've been waiting for, Adam, all season. As Savidovic goes up the inside of Rasmussen.
And that's Savidovic up into 4th position. Yeah, what Castellano was thinking there, I don't know, because they just opened the pass straight away for Stelian Chapelevsky. Chapelevsky straight away onto the back of Ash Sutton, of course, running a part-time schedule this season, so he can't compete for the championship. He will do his best to make sure he can get as many wins as he can. But Stelian Chapelevsky, he wants that championship and he wants those wins that come with it as well, and he'll be making sure he can get by during this 10-lap race.
And number 116, Ashley Sutton, Subaru factory driver. See whether he can pull the way. He's looking good at the moment. 3/4 of a second lead over the Bulgarian Stelian Chapelevsky. Wojciech Svidovic and Fredrik Rasmussen fairly close together. This is when I talked about this is the grid that we wanted. All the main contenders look like they're pretty much near the front or in the top 20 anyway. And yeah, we've been waiting for this so far in the first 7 meetings.
Melro, Gore and the boosted car of George Simmons going into battle here into the first corner. A bit of wheel-to-wheel stuff there, a bit of damage on that Apex UK car of Richard Gore as well.
Simmons has been excellent this season, really has, and Boosted Motorsport, he's really trying to take that team to another level and doing a great job of that. Number 7, qualified 14th, he's only at 4 places. Do my eyes deceive? Oh no, they do deceive. For some reason my timing screen was saying that George Simmons was up about 30-something positions, but yeah, he's only up 5 since the start of the race. He's up in 9th. He's done very well, but he's not that good, I think. Just at the back of this pack, you see the 2 bright yellow and grey Stim gear cars. That's Jack McIntyre ahead of Julian Janowski, leading this second pack with Paul Smith in 3rd position in that group. 19th overall, Mark Woodhouse in 20th for GT Omega Racing.
We're heading through the descending section of the circuit on their way to the final few corners again. George Simmons, the biggest mover in the field so far. In fact, I like Sven Glassel, the man who's started at the back of the grid. That Fanatec driver who's really been one of the stars of the show this season in the BSRTC. Already up 13 positions, on his way to 28th now.
Yeah, absolutely fantastic from Glassel. He's been one of the best drivers in the series this season. Looking at the table, he's already in 5th position overall, so looking very, very good for Fanatec. As Fredrik Rasmussen has a look at trying to get back past Wojciech Svidovic. Oh, and he hits him!
Oh.
And he survives Svidovic, and yeah, still on his merry way. But here comes David Baker. Is he going to have a look? He does. He's up the inside, Baker.
Oh, he's not giving in, is he?
Side by side with Rasmussen. Rasmussen, the World Championship driver, of course, and it's very, very good between those two. Just behind them as well, as a man who's qualified exceptionally well too, is Michael Hall. Now, he's a very quick driver. We don't often see him qualifying that high up and being in necessarily up in 6th or 7th place in race 1, but there he is, Hall, doing a great job for CQR as normal, as Diogo Melro, is in 8th position, just behind them, and then it's the aforementioned Simmons and Richard Gore rounds out the top 10. So Apex Racing UK, 4 cars in the top 12, and with Andreas Katz in P12.
And the CQR team doing pretty well as well. They've got Ash Sutton in 1st, then they've got David Baker in 6th position, Michael Hall in 7th, and Melro in 8th, and
in fact they've got Daniel Kraft in 13th as well.
Kraft as well, yeah.
Going extremely well.
Plus, of course, let's not forget Prosim, as Rasmussen goes all sorts of off through the final corner. That's going to allow Baker through into 5th.
At least, yeah, he's alongside Rasmussen into the final corner, the first corner, sorry. What am I about? David Baker, and if he keeps the inside line, which he does, he's managed to stay ahead of Fredrik Rasmussen. So now David Baker, we think he looks a little bit quicker than Rasmussen during this race, so we'll see if he can push on a bit and get towards Wojciech Svidovic, because that is where he needs to be. 2 CQR cars with a bit of a watching brief behind. Nice battle going on as well for about 13th and 14th positions, and that is between Daniel Kraft, Stuart McFadden, Pete Harrod, Jake Blackall, some of the other teams that we haven't seen so far, Automech, Race Hub with CQR and Asher Racing. Jake Blackall with a privateer entry run by Asher Racing.
For the left-hand kink up the hill, just saw Andreas Katz and Alex Walensky pretty close to each other as well, just in front of that battle going into the corkscrew. Alex Walensky hasn't had the best race, loss of 4 positions since the start. Andreas Katz, the same for him, he lost 3 since the start of the race. They're just keeping a slight distance ahead of that long train that's snaking its way through the final sector of the lap. But yeah, Andreas Katz.
They're already maybe traffic for the leaders very, very soon, as that is a limping Stuart Atkinson, who's already 1 minute and 25 seconds behind in his boosted motorsport car. And he's now got 50 cars nearly coming up on him, so he could be able to stay 1 lap down, Adam, which will give him points, give him the chance of the reverse grid. But yeah, it's he must have been involved in something in the first few laps. Yeah,
it must have been not the best start for the boosted driver there. A few of other drivers that have been involved in issues. Matt Bunn When is he never not in his shoes? He's out of this race already, retired. He may as well start warming up for the second Porsche race. And while Smith also out, and Scott Malcolm likewise. So a few cars off as Atkinson gets out of the way.
Smith's definitely been in a few issues since this season in both the Porsche and the Kia, it looks like. Yeah, Atkinson was doing the BSR Rally Championship earlier on today as well. It's got underway this morning in Monte Carlo. I was doing that as well, and I'm not sure how we've done yet. It's a bit tense waiting for these results, I must admit. Waiting for everyone to complete the race, but very happy to say that I got to the end of it, so that is the main thing. And it's exactly the same in the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, Adam, as well, because we've seen time and time again, race wins are all well and good. You have to pick up the consistent points. DNFs are what destroy your season in this championship.
It's a race of survival and a race to get to the front as well. Many different permutations go on in the BSRTC, and yeah, some of these drivers, the ones that maybe finish outside the top 20, are just happy to make it back alive, especially in the reverse grid races that we have. The races are so short, 15 minutes. Every driver wants to get every position they can, and if you end up getting a 0, that can really ruin a race meeting and possibly even ruin a championship when it gets to the showdown at the end of the season. So the drivers are making sure at this moment in time, when we're in a pretty early stage of the season, that they'll be getting as many points as they can on the board, and there's many podium credits as well.
A 0 can really turn a good meeting into an average one, and an average meeting into a bad one. So you really need to be careful. Make sure that you finish all these races, pick up points. Every car that finishes 1 lap down or less will score, and also be eligible for the reverse grid as well, provided of course you don't get disqualified. So I don't think anyone has been yet, because there's 11 incident limit. We're on lap 6 of 10 here at Laguna Seca in the BSR Touring Car Championship. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath with round 29 of the season. Still got another Porsche 911 Cup race as well, haven't we, after this one?
Quite a lot of racing still to go here as we go out of the final corner and over the line. Side-by-side racing there between, I think that's another boosted car. Is that still the same battle?
Oh, sorry, Castellino looking up the inside of Elian Chepelevsky for second, but Cheppy was late on the brakes and managed to just stave off the assault of the Frenchman. And Wojciech Svidovic has really got his head down and got back onto this group as well.
But none of them can hold a candle to Ash Sutton at the moment. A gap of 1 second. Cheppy was slightly quick on that last lap, but not going to be able to make too many inroads into him. We've got 4 laps to go here, but it definitely looks like the main battle we're seeing at the front is going to be over who gets that runners-up spot. Stelian Chepelevsky, a runner-up on many occasions in the BSRTC, led the regular season for a big portion in 2016. Ricardo Castredo, a newcomer to the championship this season, pro driver as well, Frenchman here, driving for Pro Sim. Has got a few illustrious teammates like Kip Stevens and Alex Smolensky. He's doing very well this season, and he's trying to get past Stelian Chepelevsky inside these final few stages of race 1.
I know that Stelian had finished second in the championship once before. Was it just once that he's done that, or was that, or were there more times?
Finished second in season 3. I know he definitely finished second there. That was 2 seasons before even I started commentating on this. But yeah, in thereabouts, he missed. He had to move, I think, halfway through season 5, which is why we hadn't seen much of him until just before the BSRTC started again. But yeah, really back on form here.
Yeah, we see that with drivers quite a lot, don't we, really, that they ebb and flow throughout the season in terms of performance. And it's just the case, isn't it, with a long season? The baseball season, there's so many games, 162 games in that. And you have a slump, you can have slumps halfway through the season. You don't expect good patches to last for the entire time. And even like the football season to a lesser degree, Adam, teams have just bad patches. I know Leeds are traditionally rubbish around Christmas time.
Instead, they were rubbish around summertime or springtime this season.
Yes. But yeah, that's the
well, I can't compare. Villa were bad in the winter time, so yeah.
Villa were terrible at the start of the season, I must admit.
George Simmons then versus...
2.5 laps to go.
Yeah, George Simmons versus Andreas Katz. Yeah, don't get us started on our various football teams and on misery.
Yes.
It seems to be going on at the moment. Up to the corkscrew then, Andreas Katz versus George Simmons. This is over 11th and 12th. They've also got Dan Kraft's the company. Dan Kraft, who incidentally has performed the most overtakes in the BSRTC this season.
Well, that's what he says.
Yeah, he provides us with these stats, but and I can tell you, he's done 223.
You'll kill us for that one, though. Oh dear. But no, hey, look, he's done a great job. He's compiled like an unofficial stat sheet for us, which we think is absolutely fantastic. And tell you that just a couple of interesting stats actually. With a couple of laps to go. Fredrik Rasmussen has had the most pole positions so far this season with 3. Wojciech Swiderich is the winningest driver with 5. He's also got the most podiums with 8. Dave Baker has the most top 10s with 17. That, my friends, is why he's leading the championship right there in one stat.
And
fantastic.
Interestingly though, last week he wasn't in the top 5 most scored points. Didn't have the best race meeting there, David Baker, but tell you what, Wojciech Swiderich and Dan Kraft definitely did. They were 1 and 2 after the 4 races we had last week.
Tell you what, as well, something I've noticed there as well on this stat sheet is Wojciech Swiderich has not only led the most laps this season, but he's also the safest driver, would you believe? Fantastic. He's only been a pretty safe driver, but he's never been the safest driver.
Taking the most wins as well, and the most podiums along the way. So whenever he's got to the front in the reverse grid races, he's made sure he's done it the cleanest way possible.
Now, speaking of Wojciech Swiderich, it's all building up now for the final position on the podium. And here comes the Polish driver on the inside, Wojciech Swiderich, man who lives in Dublin, Ireland, running alongside Ricardo Castrolido. Now he's getting the slipstream off Stelian Chepelevsky. Can the Apex Racing UK cars get the better on the ProSim car? Very late on the brakes for Castrolido. He's all the way around the outside. I don't think that's going to work. Andretti hairpin is slightly forgiving, but not that forgiving.
And the reigning
champion
champion
has officially dropped Rasmussen as well. He's about 1 second clear of him.
Yeah, the reigning champion just able to hold on there. Wojciech Swiderich, final lap of the race going on here, and Baker, looks like he's definitely managed to shake off Fredrik Rasmussen. Rasmussen may just need to watch out for Diogo Melro inside the final 2.5 kilometres or so. But yes, Swiderich still under pressure from Castrolido, who looks like he's got a good run through this long left-hander. Now up to the kink, and then it's the run up the Rahal straight into the corkscrew for the final time.
Which again isn't straight.
How many parts of the circuit is straight? Are they? Not really.
As is the case, really. I'm looking at the corkscrew. No, I'll get the retirements out of the way quickly because we have to dash off to the Porsche race in a bit. Lon Murray, Matthew Bond, Max Wright, Scott Malcolm and Anwar Smith are the only cars who haven't finished, but that is not going to be any such problem for Ashley Sutton, as the man who is a British Touring Car Championship race winner and multiple time pole sitter gets out of the final corner. He takes victory for CQRS line. Fantastic win for Ashley Sutton. Good start to this night for him. Stelian Chepelevsky in second, and 3rd place for Wojciech Swiderich. He's going to be very happy with that.
Yeah, another podium for the man that's got the most podiums this season. He's going to be very happy that holding back Ricardo Castrolido, who really made a mess of the start, and that's what really held him up.
All extra credits for the showdown though, isn't it? Still coming over the line here, Alex Everett, Laura Bond, Ross McFarlane. That's very close between those guys. And you've got Gareth Hickling coming across as well. Still finishing at the back. Look at that, Ben Hackerson, Colin Cunniff, Lon Murray. Well, Lon Murray's 6 laps down. And Atkinson and Hackerson, that might be fairly close because Atkinson's car is in a right state. Can Hackerson beat him to the line? I don't think he can. I think Atkinson's going to take that one. But actually, he's a lap behind me, isn't he? So that doesn't make any difference.
Well, we're only for the finishing order then. Ash Sutton takes the win. 2nd, Stelian Chepelevsky. 3rd, Swiderich. 4th, Castrolido. 5th for David Baker, 6th for Fredrik Rasmussen, 7th Diogo Melro, 8th Michael Hall, 9th Richard Gore, 10th Alex Smolensky. Andreas Katz finished in 11th with 12th George Simmons. Pete Howard finished in 13th place with Stuart McFadden 14th. Then Jake and Jack. Jake Blackhall in 15th, Jack McIntyre in 16th. Paul Smith in 17th place, a good race from him. 21st to 17th, a few positions gained there. Then Dan Kraft, lost a few positions late on. He was up towards the higher end of the top 10 when we were last looking at him. Then Janowski 19th and John Roberts 20th. Mark Woodhouse 21st. Then from last, or at the back of the grid anyway, Sven Glatzel 41st to 22nd. Lee Berridge 23rd, Rusty Layla 24th, Alex Everett 25th. Then Kip Stevens, Laura Bond, Ross McFarlane, Stuart McFadden, Michael Blake running up the top 10. Nicole Foggy 31st after starting in 44th. Gareth Hickling in 32nd, Rob Graham 33rd, Helgerson 34th, Jamie Ayres 35th, Nathan Davis 36th, Matthew Keever 37th, Andrew Whitehead 38th, with Roy Verke 39th and Richardson 40th, Roden 41st, 42nd Dave Christie, he started last, 43rd Hackerson, 44th Colin Cunniff, and then the cars 1 lap down or more. Stuart Atkinson, if we get a full, he'll be on pole. Then Lorne Murray 6 laps down, Matt Bunn 9 laps down, and then the cars all out on the opening lap of the race. Max Wright, Scott Malcolm and Anwar Smith.
Now we're going to hear for the first time tonight from iRacing World Championship driver Alex Simpson. Alex, did you enjoy that race, mate?
Yeah, enjoyed that. Great race. Yeah, just from a personal point of view with the team, I'm happy with the results that the guys got there. So they did a great job. And yeah, the action throughout the field was was really great. It's tough place to overtake, isn't it here? And I think we saw that somewhat today. So, but yeah, drivers having to be somewhat forceful to get their way through. But bit of bang in here and there, but just good hard racing. You know, touring car racing is what we want.
Speaking of a great job and a job that you usually perform with the big wheel, the reverse grid is about to be decided. And so, yeah, let us know what it's going to be. There's a few fulls on there. There's some high numbers.
Here we go then. So, yeah, we like you say, a fair 4 fulls and 28, a 36, a 30, 32, 40, 26 and 34. So, yeah, we've got some tasty grids that could be
if you finished on an odd number, you're knackered, though.
Well, that's it, yeah. Oh, well, let's start you mean to go on, I feel, for the night. We have a full.
Well, 45 cars reversing. Stuart Atkinson will be on the pole. Colin Cunniff, he's going to be at the front where he won here, I believe. He took one of his only BSRTC wins here back in 2015, which ironically was which incidentally was the first broadcast ever on Motors TV. Second, will be Cunniff. Third, Hackerson. Fourth, Dave Christie. And fifth, Simon Roden.
Good chances for some drivers who aren't normally near the front to get some points, because it's, as Alex said, it is difficult to overtake. So, yeah, we'll see what they can do. Stuart Atkinson, incidentally, the most points in the AM category last week, so he'll be hoping to carry that one on soon. All right, thank you very much for watching this race, everybody. Stay with us here on Apex Racing TV for more from BSR Race Night. We'll see you after the break. Welcome back to BSR Race Night here at Laguna Seca, and it's more action from the BSR Porsche Cup. Well, the warm-up has just finished. We're going to have a reverse grid based on championship order. Going to find out exactly what that reverse grid's going to bring us in just a few seconds. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath and Alex Simpson. And yeah, Adam, take us through the grid, my friend. It's going to be interesting.
Yeah, okay, so let's have a look how things are lining up then. Stephen Minton, he starts on the pole. Second, Ashley Blake Hood. Please, Ashley, come on. Let's get a race. Let's get a clean race here. Conrad Venter starting in third. Richard Dempsey fourth. Then it's another Richard Guthenku in fifth. Taylor Lane sixth. Dan Blake seventh. Michael Blake in eighth. Then Adam McNally ninth and 10th. David White. Adam Delmont 11th. Sam Kumo. Nice in the midfield there. Daniel Brown 13th. Then Miles Kletzy in 14th. 15th Dan Hunt. 16th Christian Rose. 17th Josh Valentine. 18th Simon Landemore. Then it's Matt Bunn. He too needs a clean race. And then 20th Steve Hefford. Ewan Tyndall 11th. 21st and 22nd at the back. It's Josh Thompson.
Okay then, I know Josh Thompson complaining of illness. So hopefully he'll be well enough to complete the race. We're not far away from the start here. And round 17 of BSR Porsche Cup is to get underway very, very shortly. Here we go then.
Green, green, green.
We're underway as the green flag flies. Ashley Blake Hood got a great start before CQR off the front row. It's already alongside Stephen Minton. Oh, there's pushing going on. Blake pushes. No. Here we go. No! Erica Fenko into lane. It's just those two cars that have gone.
Oh my word, big one.
Oh, there's a big one in the middle. Somebody's over. I think it's McNally.
Yes, it is.
McNally over on his roof. Oh, there's another spinner, and I think that is... Oh,
it's Hunt.
It's Daniel Hunt. Well,
he's out the Hunt.
I suppose there's a little bit of justice there, didn't it? Because he did spin Matt Bunn around, at least. In Bunn's eyes, I didn't really see the incident, so oh, another car round. Taylor Lane again.
That's 20th. Conrad Venter down to 19th as well. You know what?
Start from the back, mate.
Oh yeah, the way Ashley Blake Hood's look was going, I was fully expecting him to get literally T-boned going into that first corner. Matt Bunn though, he's made a great run of this.
Oh,
he started
Minton at the corkscrew. Sorry, Adam.
The pole sissy,
oh,
yeah.
Minton and somebody nearly collided. Oh, around goes Valentine. Valentine's over.
Oh no, this has gone horribly wrong.
Going down the hill, plus Valentine head over heels in love. Head over heels and out
crash
of the race,
crash at first sight, more like.
Oh dear, Alex. What can you say?
Not much you can say to that, I think. Yeah, just sometimes you get them, don't you? Where everything goes wrong.
This is like the one. Do you remember the one we had here when we first broadcast on Motors TV?
Yeah. Oh God, yeah.
That was terrible. And this one is this one's exciting at least. Ashley Blake Hood leads the way. Second place is number 151. That's Richard Dempsey, who was quick in the first round, and so was Dan Blake. He's in third at the moment. Then it's Matthew Bunn. Fifth is Adam Delmont. Daniel Brown is in fifth, and sixth is Christian Rose. Josh Thompson is up to seventh. He started 22nd. Did the Apex Racing UK driver.
Hunt around again.
Oh no.
Hunt's around.
Blake just took Dempsey as well.
Yeah, as well.
Thompson's going very wide as well. Dempsey up into second place then, and here comes Matthew Bunn.
I hear gravel.
I'm sure Bunn's going to have a look into the corkscrew.
And Brown off, just behind Matt Bunn. Josh Thompson, I should say. Oh no, it's Thompson.
Thompson, no!
And it's over.
Oh, Thompson's over. He's got the flu, and he flew there, didn't he? Oh, dear me. Poor Josh. He's another one, Alex. If you know, it wasn't for bad luck, he'd have no luck at all.
Well, this is true. Just in a replay of it now as well. Just lost the rear going in, and then, yeah. He just gets hit.
Side by side at the final corner, it was Klurtzley and number 77, Adam Delmont, side by side. This has really benefited Matthew Bunn and Christian Rose from 19th and 16th on the grid. They're third and fifth now as wide goes Delmont.
Delmont, yeah.
Klurtzley is going through. Is that Kumo? It is. So the man who has now actually lost the championship lead, 41 points behind after the first round of the evening. And yeah, Sam Kumar will be looking to get more to claw himself back into the championship race.
Well, Matt Bunn's up to second place now. He's got past Dan Blake, so he's wasted no time at all. Just 2 laps to get from.
Oh, Steve Hefford! Steve Hefford's gone. I think he collided with Hinton.
Well, he nearly did. He got forced out. Well, he didn't get forced out wide. He was out wide through turn 3, and there was no coming back from that.
Oh, Minton didn't touch him.
Well, him and Dan Hunt on my screens both have the same paint scheme, and they both went off in exactly the same places.
Oh dear. Well, there we go.
Actually, very good then. The gap down to 6/10 of a second, and he's
There'll
got.
be some disqualifications later on, I'm telling you.
Yeah, going to be 8 laps left. See what happens here at the front. Dan Hunt then. Oh, Simon Landemore. It's Landemore at the corkscrew.
Well, apparently they've set this session up with no incident limit.
And they are right.
That's sensible, isn't it? As not really. As Sam Kumo is chasing down Adam Delmont. Look at Delmont's car. Not Delmont's car. Daniel Brown's car. Absolute mess. Nothing he could do though, was it? Thompson just spun right in front of him.
Down to 3/10 of a second at the front now. Ashley's very good. He's going to have to try to do something remarkable here to keep Matt Bunn behind.
Yeah, Bunn's quick, so is Blake Hood though. But no fast repair either. No fast repair, no incidents. Like it was a little bit wrong, but there we go. Now, what's Bunn going to do? He's sensible enough to avoid trying to make a move into the corkscrew, so the front wheel actually lifting off the ground. The camera is such into the corkscrew. Blake Hood now trying to battle around the outside. Bunn is through into the lead. That's a good move by Matthew Bunn, taking the lead of round 2 of the evening. Here comes Christian Rose for P5 at the moment. Oh, can he get the cut back? Not really. Dempsey took the line well, trying to get 4th position. Good battle going on behind them as well, but we're going to focus on this one just for now as they go towards the Andretti hairpin. Oh, and had to cover the line, didn't he, Richard Dempsey? Christian Rose on the outside. Oh, that's okay, just about. Oh, bit of a twitch on by Rose as well. On the dirty stuff, Adam, and nearly paid for it.
Yeah, pretty close there, but they're pretty close still now. Gone their way towards the left-hander. Jorge Lorenzo, a huge incident here.
Going inside.
Lock up. And they somehow survive, and it looks like it's going to be Rose that gets the move done on Richard Dempsey as we go into the left-hander. And he's through.
Yeah, he goes through. You can't really go through there side by side. A good run out in the corner, Dempsey. Rose is having to defend. Tough place to defend in the corkscrew because... Oh, he got a nudge!
Oh.
He got a nudge from Dempsey. Off goes Rose into the grass and the gravel. Sam Kumo's got through, and also number 8. That is
David White.
David White, number 108. Sorry, I couldn't see the one.
Number 22 also through. That's Dan Brown.
Oh no, it's not. It's back through Christian Rose. Good move. Gets that position back.
Dan Hunt's hunting for the track. He's gone off at the corkscrew.
Oh no.
He's
It's
back on.
Hefford. Oh. Hey, it's all over the place.
Hunting for grip now.
Nah, he's not finding much, is he? A minute.
Lap 6 then. Things
good.
starting to settle down just a little bit at the front. Miles Klurtzley and Richard Dempsey getting a bit close together now. What were the lap times like? Klurtzley was very quick on that last lap. 1:27.8 compared to Richard Dempsey's 1:29.3. And this could escalate pretty quickly here. He continues at that pace. Dempsey searching like Dan Hunt for grip, and Miles Klurtzley flashing the lights in his CQR S-Line liveried car as they go through the left-hander.
Looks pretty tidy, does Klurtzley, doesn't he? And yeah, this is the first time I think we've seen him in the BSR Porsche Cup, and looking good here. It'd be good if we can get him for the rest of the season based on this. Based on this performance, I believe he's a CQR driver. Looking at some of the liveries on there, at least he's got some kind of affiliation with them, I believe.
There's David White.
Good cutback here. And the outside of the corkscrew. Looking to use this roller coaster section to his advantage. Just realised we've not spoken to Alex for about 5 laps. Alex, what are you making this race so far?
Yeah, no, good race so far. Just looking at a little replay of what happened to White. He locked up the rears going into the corkscrew trying to avoid his teammate. And yeah, ended up in the
Oh, that's
there.
very close. Oh no! Dempsey and Coatley. Up the top of the hill.
Benching in the seat there as they were going down the straight up the inside.
The Andretti hairpin, hard on the brakes, locking up a bit.
Oh no!
Oh no! He keeps going and pushes it round.
Oh no!
He gets walloped by Christian Rose. He's now reversing on the circuit because he's got no choice. Oh, closely. Dempsey, that was silly driving.
Well, it was instant karma because Richard Dempsey, when he put the power down, spun as well. So all's well that ends well, really.
Alex, I was gonna come to you again there, but I wasn't trying to leave you out for the first half of the race, I promise. But Dempsey just got into the back of him, and he didn't really stop once he started turning him round, did he?
Well, no, it did look exactly that. Like he just kept his foot on the gas there and just was like, oh well.
And then he spun.
I'll just get him out of the way.
And then he spun anyway. So who's the beneficiaries of that? We're going to find out when we get round to the timing line, I think. Michael Blake going through the gravel. That's nothing really new in terms of this circuit. A lot of drivers going off into the. A lot of drivers going off really, using a bit of the runoff area.
Well, I'll tell you what, Ewan Tyndall, Richard Gafencu, we've got Michael Blake also involved as Ewan Tyndall locks the brakes going into the left-hander here. David White's gone again, by the way. What's happened to David White?
Here.
Painting the gravel. Looks like he's gone off in the same spot he's been off before. He was battling a Youth Energy car at the time of Adam McNally and, oh dear, just goes straight on.
Not great for him.
Close with Tyndall.
Into the first corner then, Michael Blake covering the inside line. There goes Gafencu out of nowhere up the inside, and thank you very much. The all-black car is through into 10th place now, into the top 10. Or is he?
Oh, coming back is...
Binder, yeah.
Tyndall, yeah. Thank you around the outside. It's a very good battle here. Excellent driving. Go side by side into turn 4.
Big bit of that sausage curb there, Ewan Tyndall.
Yeah, that's not a place that you want it. That's not a thing you want to hit. Face it. Neither's that one. I've hit that one and broke the suspension in a Formula 1 car before around here. I think he's clear. He's away. Conrad Venter having a bad race, really, even though he says he started third, which he was supposed to be third on the grid, but he didn't in fact start from the back of the grid. So coming through to 12th, that's decent. Very decent for Matt Bowden as well. A minute, 3 seconds clear of Ashley Blakehood, who will be very, very pleased if he can get the second place, but probably just cursed him just by saying his name. To be honest. Sam Kumo is closing in a little bit on Christian Rose. Rose has got damage though, so I'm not really too surprised. Finn is gaining a little bit.
Yeah, Rose got that damage when he hit Miles Klurtzy at the first corner.
Andy got a piece of someone at the corkscrew, didn't he? When oh no, you're right. Sorry.
Not good. Not a good.
Here's someone else.
Not a good debut with Josh. Both Josh Thompson and Josh Valentine out of the race.
It wasn't great, really.
Conrad Venter, Richard Gafencu. And it's because Gafencu's off. That's why the position's changed. What happened to cause this? Oh, it was the ongoing battle between Gafencu and Ewan Tyndall. And yeah, they both went different ways, and one way ended up in the gravel. And a little tap of the wall.
Quite a few people have ended up there in this race. I think there's still some battles to be settled though out there.
No, it's Dan Hunt.
Oh no.
It was basically a big bottleneck going into the bottom of the hill with Gafenku rejoining.
Hunt almost saved it. Oh, he very nearly saved it, Daniel Hunt. Not his finest hour there, he's actually retired, it looks like.
Things are not going well. For him anyway.
Not for a lot of drivers out there.
But for someone called Matt Bunn, it's going very well. He's just going up to the corkscrew now on the final lap of the race. He's got a 4-second lead, and as long as he gets back down the hill to the finish line, going to literally do last to first. Achievement unlocked, maybe.
Yeah, no, very nearly. 19th on the grid. Nobody expected Matt Bunn to be anywhere near the front of this race, really, from there. Advantage of some of the incidents. But above all, he drove a fantastic race. And Matthew Bunn then coming out of the final corner, he gives it a bit of large on the exit. Flashes the lights and wins race 2 here in the BSR Porsche Cup.
Great job.
Fantastic from Matt Bunn.
Second for Ashley Blake Hood. Well done.
Well, it's going to be close between Kumo and Brown. Just gets there for 5th position behind Christian Rose. Dan Blake, though, new championship leader and up in 3rd position in that race. Fantastic.
Anything the rest of the order? Conrad Venter coming across the line now. It's still going on between you and Tyndall and Hefford. Who's going to get it the line?
Very close.
Tyndall. And Stephen Minton just going through the final corner.
You mentioned Jorge Lorenzo, who in Tyndall is number 99. Managed to get a very, very close victory over Steve Hefford there.
93, Mark Marquez got 4th in Christian Rose.
Very good. Good indeed. I can't think of any more off the top of my head. Pretty terrible.
No,
but
yeah, next best for me is start going into football numbers. But over the line comes Stephen Minton, car 4. And he will come across the line and take... No, Stephen Minton, I apologise. Minton comes across the line, car 14. Position 14, I should say, number 101. BBC 1. He comes across the line and takes 14th position.
I'll just take you through the cars that didn't finish the race as well. Adam McNally in 15th, 1 lap down. Did he actually finish the race? He did. Just a lap down. And then Daniel Hunt retired with 2 laps to go. Miles Clotesley out, David White out, Simon Landemore likewise. Josh Thompson only lasted 2 laps, I think. Taylor Lane and Josh Valentine retired on the first tour round. Okay.
That's it then, yeah.
That is it from the BSR Porsche Cup tonight. But of course, we've still got action from the Kia Optima. We've still got 3 BSRTC races to come. So stick with us here on Apex Racing TV, iRacing Live. And we'll be back just after this break with more touring car action from Laguna Seca.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Welcome back to BSR Race Night here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live. It's the British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship. Presented by iRacing and the MSA. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath, and Alex Simpson is doing the cameras for us this evening. And tell you what, Alex, I'll speak to you before the race, mate. Good start to the meeting, really. Some exciting racing, and last race was quite clean, really, for a touring car race around here. And what are you expecting from the rest of the evening?
Yeah, well, not quite the same as what we saw the last race. I think, yeah, people will be a little bit more aggressive in this next one, trying to move through. Of course, we've got a full reverse grid this time, so 40-odd cars will be swapped around, so a lot of quick guys going to be coming through. So could get messy if we have a big accident. There are walls around this circuit, and the accident usually gets funneled back into the racing line, which usually creates like the big one. So yeah, keep an eye out for that. We might see cars flying.
We will catch up with Alex at the end of the race, but Adam, yeah, it's interesting one. It's a big reverse grid, of course, 45 cars reversed. See some shenanigans here.
Definitely. We saw that with 20 or so cars in the BSR Porsche Cup just a few moments ago. I think we're definitely going to see some here. Incidentally, just looking on Google Maps, apparently we're only 15 minutes from the sea here at Laguna Seca. But yeah, Stuart Atkinson on the pole, Colin Cunniff second. The scene of one of his only wins in the BSRTC. Ben Hackerson third, Dave Christie fourth, Simon Roden fifth. Steve Richardson sixth, Roy Verke seventh, 8th Andrew Whitehead, 9th Matthew Keeber, 10th Nathan Davis, 11th Jamie Ayres, 12th Thorstein Helgerson, 13th is Rob Graham, 14th Gareth Hickling, 15th Nicole Foggy, 16th Michael Blake, 17th Stephen Baxter, 8th Ross McFarlane, 19th Laura Bond and 20th Kip Stevens. The winners of race 1, Savidovic will be starting in 43rd position, Stelian Chapelewski 44th, Ash Sutton 45th, and the cars at the back, Matt Bunn 47th, Max Wright 48th, and starting at the back 49th. We're missing one car for this one. I don't know who it is, but yeah, 49 cars. Scott Malcolm's going to be starting at the back.
All right then, ready to go. We've got some big gaps at the front. It looks like they're a penalty spinner. It's Stuart Atkinson at the front again. I hope he makes a better start than he did at Summit Point.
Green, green.
Here we go. He's away. The green light is on. He's been a good one this time, Atkinson. And then it's all about who's going to get second into turn one. Oh, it's a crash! It's a huge crash! Massive crash at the back. And in the middle, I'm not even sure who's involved. Seeing Baxter is off to the side. I can still hear more, there's more crashing going on. I didn't even see, did you see who that was, Adam? I've no idea. I knew there was an Apex car in there. I think it was Davis.
It was Nathan Davis that kick-started it off, I think. Yes, it was. It was car 42.
And Atkinson is in the wall.
Oh, unbelievable.
Dear me, he's just trying not to win races now. Oh, dear.
Oh, yeah, that's him.
What happened to him?
That's him before we got under the Michelin bridge. Well, let's have a look. Oh, it's the cool conditions, isn't it? He turned it in, no grip, and off he went.
Alex, what did you see of that start, mate? I know it was a big one. Oh, there's more cars off. I'm sorry. I'm not even sure who that was. I think it was an Automac car going off.
Trying to get a replay to see exactly what happened, but yeah,
hopefully is the answer.
The first one starts with Nathan Davis.
They're going mad here at the Laguna Seca. We're going to have to get some orders to come through to get to the timing line. We've got 4 wide coming through the final sector. And here's some more crashing.
Yeah, Nathan, I think, just trying to squeeze into a place that wasn't there, and then on the inside, I'm not sure who was on the inside. One of the Alfa Alatec cars, I think, was had nowhere to go, and yeah, so that ended up quarter paneling them in. And like you say, then all hell broke loose.
First position, Roy Verke. Second position, Robert Graham. Adam, it's a 1-2 for Automac at the moment.
Yeah, fantastic. They'll be laughing their heads off, really. Can't get as much further away from Scotland, but they're doing the business here. Yeah, Andrew Whitehead, the boosted driver, is in third. Fourth, Rusty Laidler. Fifth, Gareth Hickling. Sixth, Dan Kraft. He's up 22 positions. No wonder he wins the most overtakes. And he's going for another one.
Yeah, he just wants that stat to himself now, doesn't he? Now that he's wanted to make that sheet. Up into 5th place, past Gareth Hickling. Really, really clean move by Kraft. He's on the charge here, and Russell Laidler is his next victim.
I get him by the end of this straight. They're both in the CQR team, and there you go.
Laidler, hasn't he? He's really struggling out there. Yeah, Laidler's car is a mess. Absolute mess. And I can hear that Rasmussen trying to burrow his way through.
Bond's around as well. Just having a little look.
Did you say?
Yeah, Laura Bond.
Bond.
Oh, Bond, sorry.
Mr. Bond, yeah, Laura Bond.
Bond, and that wouldn't surprise me either, considering the Porsche antics that he gets.
Laura Bond gets hit by Paul Smith.
Oh dear.
It looks like it anyway. It looks close, but I'm just getting. Yeah, definite view. Yeah, that is Paul Smith.
What's Palmer doing? Actually, Sutton's up to 20th. And he's got Joe Simmons in front of him, so it's not going to be easy for him to get any further.
Frederick Rasmussen passed and Ross McFarlane. That's an overtake. That's McFarlane past Rasmussen. You won't see that too many times. Rasmussen going straight back at him up the inside here. He's through.
That's good work here. The Automec guys have got a massive lead here. They just need to hang on to this 1-2. They do not need to do anything silly. This is huge points for the team. We haven't seen Automec win a race for quite some time, Adam.
Yeah, Dan Craft up to third. He's just got past Andrew Whitehead, so he is definitely a man on a mission.
Remember the last Automec victory?
Ooh, has Stuart McFadden got a win this season? Or recently, for that matter? That might be the last one.
Forget. Did Rob Graham get one?
Rob Graham's got one, but maybe even when the team's known as Laser Tools, perhaps, as Lee Berridge gets past Gareth Hickling.
Laser Tools won more races in real-life BTCC than they did in the BSR Touring Car Championship, I think. Aidan Moffat took victory, didn't he, in one of the earlier rounds?
It took his time to get his first win, though, Aidan Moffat. That wasn't his first win this season at Donington.
Oh, he did very, very well though there. And that colour scheme on that Mercedes, I do love it.
Oh, it's all bunching up here. That's Ash Sutton, that's Gareth Hickling, that's Alex Everett.
Oh my goodness me.
Bumper to bumper stuff there, and a whole lot of damage.
I'm just going to steal it from you, this catchphrase. This is not going to go well.
What's happening here? And it could go horribly wrong. As up the inside goes Gareth Hickling. Open the door himself there, and here comes Ash Sutton.
The thing is as well, because we see, because of the nature of this corner, the straight that isn't straight, going into the Andretti hairpin, we do see a lot of cars losing it under braking because they're turning and braking at the same time. And that's past Alex Everett.
Yeah, Laguna Seca, I think, was the first ever track I raced the Kia Optima on, and yeah, that first corner really does announce itself as Sutton goes through, and also goes through as the Scottish one. That's Hickling, I think. No, Alex Everett.
That's McFarlane.
There you go, third time lucky.
Hopefully it's the Scottish one. I'm going to steal that as well. Simmons is on the gravel. Oh, who's that on the inside? Number 40, Pete Harron. Going to get two at once, I think, here.
Oh no. Do they make it? Yeah, they do. Three wide behind.
They've all managed it just, I think.
How's that happened? Three wide behind.
Three wide in the corkscrew?
Somehow.
How have they all... Right, I've no idea.
Ash Sutton, by the way, he's up 36 positions,
yeah.
But nothing new there in terms of Ash Sutton.
Nah, he's doing a great job. And you know what? A few of those cars in front of him have got damage as well, so Sutton might be able to make his way even further forward.
Oh,
Daniel Craft is gaining here.
Oh no.
He gained 1 second on Roy Ververke on the last lap. But Ververke's advantage is that Robert Graham is his teammate, and he is a BSR race winner himself. And so he'll be tasked with trying to keep Dan Craft behind. It's easier said than done, though.
Andreas Katz has been hit by car 8. That is
8 is Ricardo Castrolado.
And they were both, and Castrolado did the decent thing, I suppose.
Atkinson up the inside of Katz. Oh, and he hits the German.
No, he's not going to like that. Castrolado's still there. He did the decent thing, really, and waited until Katz got going again, but they lost a huge amount of positions after all that happened. They're down to outside the top 30 now.
Yeah, it's a difficult one, really. They do say carry on and let the penalty system do its job, but I know that Alex, just bring you in quickly, but where we used to race, we used to do the Formula 1 leagues and things like that, it was considered very good practice to let your opponent back through it.
Yeah, it was one of the main rules, wasn't it? That if you hit someone spinning, let them go.
I think, oh my goodness me. And I think Richard Gould's
oh dear.
Oh no! I think Richard Gould's going to be letting some people through after that one because...
R104, who's that? That's Matt Bunn.
He collides with Diogo Melro, who goes into Matthew Bunn, who crashes into Richard Gould again. I don't know whose fault it was between Gore and Melrose.
Oh, Rasmussen's been tied to the pits. What's happened to Rasmussen? Was he involved?
I don't know. Alex, I don't know what you saw of that one.
Oh, no, I've just seen it. I've just seen it, buddy, don't worry.
Was that just one of those under braking?
I'm not too sure on the Gore one.
The Melrose Gore
but yeah,
one.
the Rasmussen was just in the final corner.
Oh, I've just seen it, yeah. That was a bit,
Okay.
bit unfortunate. Bang, into the wall they go, and yeah, that's the end of Rasmussen. Car definitely broken after that one, my word.
Oh dear, it's not going that well for Rasmussen this season at the minute, I must admit.
Well, we're now on lap 6 of the race. We're into the second half. Dan Craft is right behind Rob Graham. He might have his work cut out getting to Roy Ververke, but the battle for second place definitely heating up here as we have got 5 laps to go.
Still 5 laps to go, yeah. Sorry, should repeat exactly what you said. But being 5 laps to go, Craft's 1 second quicker than Ververke. He's only 2 and a bit behind. This is Graham, but he's going to have to defend for his life here, Robert Graham. Protect his teammate. Try and protect this win for Automate. Graham covers the inside. This is good. Crash trying the outside. Oh, it's a bit of bumping. Graham's going to have the inside line for the Andretti hairpin. He's also going to have the shortest route over this kink. Could be able to hold off Craft here. It's very difficult to get a move done around the outside. Graham puts the door into him. Craft's on the grass. Can go through here surely. Graham's going to fight back though. Yeah, he concedes. He has to really, Adam.
That's overtake 26 in the race for Dan Craft, and well, 2.3 seconds the gap now to Roy Ververke. Can he get there in time? He's got 4 laps to do so. Last time around, he was only 0.2 of a second quicker than Roy Ververke, so compared to the 0.9 of a second, he was quicker than Rob Graham. So really, at that pace, Roy Ververke should be able to hold on to the victory. I say should, really, with big italics.
Graham may have done his teammate the ultimate favour here. And maybe if Rob Graham can just, at least for Automate's sake, maybe if Graham can just force Craft to defend on one of these corners. I think he's too far back now, and it would really help Roy Ververke. Has Roy Ververke taken the BSRTC win before? I'm not sure he has. No, he's been victorious, I believe, in the club series.
Yeah, I think he's definitely been in there. Most improved driver, who's voted most improved driver, as Ash Sutton gets past Sven Glatzel into the final corner. 41 positions gained now.
He was. The most improved driver vote was between me and Roy Ververke, and I voted for Roy. So there we have it. That's how good he was in that first season. Definitely.
Well, there you go. That's another accolade we can use at the beginning of the broadcast.
He went from trundling around at the back to a really solid top 10 contender, did Roy Ververke, in just 1 season. It's very good.
Lee Berridge and Andrew Whitehead pretty close to each other. Berridge having a little look at the inside there as they go under the bridge.
And then he took me out at Interlagos in season 2 for good measure. You know.
Knock you down a few, yeah.
Yeah, well, he probably thought, yeah, I was going to say. It's probably revenge for having to stare at that selfie car at Brands Hatch. Daniel Craft's not looking that tidy out there at the minute.
He's on the ragged edge, isn't he? He's trying to get to the front. What gap's 1.7 seconds.
I don't think he needs to push that hard, though. I think he's got the pace.
That's to 1.8 actually, but Lee Berridge still doing his best and nearly goes off as he tries to get past Andrew Whitehead.
Ash Sutton's up to 4th, by the way.
41 positions, yeah. In a NASCAR race, that would put you in similar position, really, in about 3rd or 2nd.
Second place, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
But have we ever seen anybody gain 41 places in a race?
We haven't had fields this big before, so I think I'd say this is the first time we've seen that many.
We saw someone gain 36 places. I think Pete Harrod possibly it was last week. And Harrod himself in this race has gained 24 positions. And just inside the top 10, David Baker's gained 30 places. Gareth Hickling
and Ross McFarlane are both gone, and I think I can see the reason why.
Have they crashed with each other?
Yes, and that's a disqualification for both.
Lovely. That's just what we need. That's just what they needed. Not. Gimme.
And that's what transpired. Yeah.
Hickling went off at the final corner and got his final incident point. It looked like. Tell you what, Verke's only got 1 lap and a half to go.
Tell you what, we saw similar scenes like this at in the Formula Renault race we both did at Road America. Who was it that was holding on there? It was John McCutcheon, wasn't it? He was able to get it done.
McCutcheon was a lot slower than what Roy Verke is. Alex, just quickly, what is it like when you're under this kind of pressure? It must have happened to you in the past.
Yeah, I think when they're sort of like 2 seconds back, it's not too bad, but it's once they break that 1 second barrier, then the pressure really mounts. And yeah, with 1 lap to go, this last lap, his knees are going to be knocking a little bit, I think.
Roy's going to have to hit all his marks, isn't he? Not make any mistakes, and yeah, just not concede any. Not let Kraft get into the slipstream easily, mate. I think that's the key, isn't it?
Yeah, exactly. So just focus on his exits. Make sure he gets really good exits. You know, that'll stop from Daniel from getting the run on him.
Sutton's up to Sutton's just muscling his way past Graham now to 3rd place. He's going to get on the podium from 45th on the grid, Adam. That's remarkable. And if these two crash, he might win the race.
But then he's got to do it all again if we get a full.
Yeah, all that work.
Talk about the life of a quick BSRTC driver, eh? Yeah, Roy Verke, what's the gap? 8/10 of a second. Kraft was only 6/10 of a second quicker on that last lap, so it's going to have to take us some sort of mistake for Roy Verke to lose this one, I reckon. But Kraft did get a good run through that kink, to be fair. Gap 6/10.
Kraft looks like he's suffering with a bit of understeer, as in more than normal in the get. He's cut the course there, though. Surely cut the course there, Kraft, because that was a big chunk of the inside that he took there. That wasn't the racing line, was it? And I hope he doesn't try and have a go here, because I think that would be very harsh, considering he probably gained. Yeah, he's got to slow down, hasn't he? Got to slow down. And Roy Verke comes through the final corner to win for Oulton here at Laguna Seca. Well done, Roy. That was fantastic.
Wilson gets 3rd. I hope Kraft served that penalty. He doesn't want to get demoted in any positions. Jake Blackhall versus Paul Smith into the final corner. Blackhall through.
Well, right, it would be usually be about 45-second penalty, isn't it? And Jake Blackhall knows what that's like here at this circuit, losing a victory in that circumstance. But George Simmons just beating Andrew Whitehead to the line as well for P6. Still really good for boosted though. 6th and 7th. CQR getting 3 cars in the top 10. That was a strong showing. Much stronger than Apex, who highest placed car was Wojciech Swidovic in 17th. Katz was 22nd. Czepelewski was 23rd. Gore retired, I believe, didn't he? Oh no, he was finished.
Gore and Davis both retired. Although I think Gore might have just been inside the 2-lap down barrier, so he might just score points.
Gore's got a chance to get a full row and get on the front row. You know what? If we do get a full, Richard Gore will be on pole, Adam, and then it'll be Dave Christie, Laura Bond, Kip Stevens, and Thorstein Helms. There'll be some good chances for some drivers who are pretty good at the old reverse grid.
Yeah, looking good, isn't it? We'll see what happens. But first, we've got to run you through the grid, the race results, I should say. Roy Verke takes the win. 2nd for Dan Kraft. There you go, 45th to 3rd. Yeah, Ash Sutton proving it's not difficult to overtake in the BSRTC. Rob Graham 4th, 5th Sven Glatzel, 6th George Simmons, 7th Andrew Whitehead, 8th Lee Berridge, 9th David Baker. It's just an upside down 6, that's okay. And 10th Pete Harrod, 11th Michael Hall, 12th Alex Everett, 13th Alex Malensky, 14th John Roberts, 15th Jake Blackhall, who got a crucial position over Paul Smith at the end of the race. Should we have a small reverse grid anyway? Wojciech Swidovic 17th, 18th Jack McIntyre, 19th Michael Blake, 20th for Max Wright, who started in 48th. Another strong race through the field to talk about there. 28 positions gained. Then 21st for Julian Janowski, 22nd for Andreas Katz after getting turned around by Castro Lado earlier on. Seni Czapelewski, his car was crabbing all over the place as I watched him come across the line. He finished in 23rd. Ben Hackerson started on the 2nd row of the grid, ended up finishing in 24th position after that pit lane start. 25th for Lord Murray, 26th Ricardo Castrolado, 27th Matt Bunn, 28th Colin Cunniff after he too had to start from the pit lane. Matt Stuart Atkinson in 29th, the pole sitter, crashed off in turn 2 whilst leading, and Steve Richardson finished in 30th, I think another pit lane starter. Forstein Helgerson 31st, 32nd Kip Stevens, Laura Bond 33rd, Dave Christie started on the second row. I think he might have had a pit lane start as well, and then the cars they're all out of the race. Richard Gore, Gareth 2 laps down, so he's not going to be eligible for the reverse grid now, so that's a shame. Gareth Hickling 36 3 laps down along with Ross McFarlane, who got disqualified. Frederick Rasmussen, who crashed out. We saw that. Rusty Laidler, I believe he got disqualified as well. And then Diogo Melro crashed out. Stephen Baxter also crashed out along with Nicole Foggy, Matthew Keeber, all these guys out on the opening lap. Nathan Davis as well, Jamie Ayres, Mark Woodhouse, Stuart McFadden, and Scott Malcolm. They barely made it to the first corner. They all crashed on the so-called isn't straight.
Yeah, and that was a cracking race after the start was very, very chaotic. But yeah, we've got Alice. We've got a chance of another very interesting reverse grid.
Yeah, I think we will have. Instead, me looking at the screen here aimlessly, let's bring the wheel up and give it a spin and see where we end up.
I think if it's a cleaner race at the start, Alex, it's going to be much harder to gain all those positions than what it was this time.
Well, it's not going to be a big one. It's the smallest we can possibly get, 26.
Back in the day, that was the biggest we could get. The times have changed. 26, and that's Ricardo Castrolado. He's on the pole. Lord Murray's going to be starting second. Ben Hackerson, he's third again. But this time, hopefully, he won't be starting on the pit lane. Stelin Shapalevsky starting in 4th, and Andreas Katz in 5th. So a very good day here for the Apex team.
Got a bit of an all-star lineup at the front, haven't we? So we'll see how that one goes when we return for more action from the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship right after this break.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
In the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be at the stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group. to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Round 31 of the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship, brought to you by Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live from Laguna Seca Circuit in the United States, Monterey, California. Glad to be with you here on this Thursday evening, as usual. Andrew Woodhouse alongside Adam Bath and Alex Simpson as well. And well, Adam, that was a very, very chaotic start to that race, but it ended up with a fantastic win by Roy Ververke.
Yeah, great job by him and the Automech team. They'll be over the moon with that one. Expecting to only get a few wins this season probably, and yeah, to get one there with Dancraft closing them down in the later stages. Yeah, they'll be absolutely overjoyed with that one. But now we've got a very small reverse grid, the smallest we can possibly get, 26. And we've got quite a few big names starting towards the front, so we'll see what happens for the start in this one with another really cool race.
Alex, we'll get your thoughts before the start of the race as well. We've been doing this series for quite some time now, nearly 3 years, and this is the best that Daniel Craft's ever been, isn't it? He's absolutely flying out there. If you could just sort qualifying out, he could be running away with the championship.
I think Dan's a very underestimated driver, to be honest. You know, he was drafted into that CQR team because he is so good. You know, last season for Friction, he was the one that really stood out. And yeah, this is there's a long way of this season still to go. And I can tell you what, come that showdown, he's going to be one of the drivers that are going to be trying to get that top prize.
Just showing this determination, Adam, isn't he? That you know, he's always been a good driver, but it looks like he really wants it this time.
Definitely, yeah, and you can see how close he came last season with the fact that he's got the number 3 on the car, 3rd place in the end for him. But this time he'll be going for the number 1 and see if he can stop the likes of Savidovic and Katz from taking this title. Run you through the grid then.
12 wins last season, by the way, for Kraft, which phenomenal, really.
For the grid then, Castrolado on the pole, second Lawn Murray, third Hackerson, fourth Chepelewski, fifth Katz, sixth Janowski, seventh Wright, eighth Blake, ninth McIntyre, and then 10th Wojciech Swidiewicz with Paul Smith behind him. Towards the back of the grid, of course, you've got the guys that finished at the front in race 2. In fact, they'll be starting in the midfield, won't they? Because it is a pretty small reverse grid. So Ash Sutton will be starting 24th, Dan Kraft 25th, Roy Verke will be starting in 26th. Starting at the very back, though, it'll be Mark Woodhouse, Stuart McFadden, and Scott Malcolm.
Right then. Really, really good grid in play for this one. See what Ricardo Castrolado can do, the Frenchman. Start. Paul Murray behind, and then Ben Hackerson. Sterling Chepelewski and Andreas Katz. It's going to be a good one. Here we go then. Ready for the green light. Come on, any second now.
Green, green, green.
There it is, the green light is on. Fairly even start. Good one by Castrolado. Goes after the middle. I think Sterling Chepelewski with a very, very good getaway. Number 5, can he split? Can he get into second place? No, he can't. Ben Hackerson has managed to take Lawn Murray. Murray's dropped down quite a way on the start already. Who's that in the sim gear car? That's Julian Janowski looking good already.
Foggy and Melrose, 2 cars off at the first corner. And another one, a GT Omega car. Oh no, that's an alternate car.
That's Lawn Murray. Lawn Murray from second place on the grid. Wasn't a great start for him. And, well, just like Stuart Atkinson, he ends up in the same place.
Seems to be a crash hotspot, really, down the corkscrew, and we're on our way towards it now.
We are, and Castrolado then, leading the way. Ben Hackerson looking really, really strong on this first lap. I think the boosted motorsport car can get anything done. Into the famous corkscrew, then down the hill they come. Down this brilliant section of track, Adam. It's really, really a great part of the courses.
Drive on, isn't it? And great to see the drivers utilising it as well. We have seen quite a few overtakes happening into that part of the course today. As Castrolado goes into the final few corners, still stuck behind them. That is a Fanatec car getting very close. Alex Everett with Michael Blake going into the final corner. Also in there's car 2, that's David Baker and Jake Blackwell as well as they go through the final corner.
And also just looking slightly further back as well, you can see the Alphatec car of Michael Blake with Alex Everett. Oh, he hits the Welshman. Survives Everett and carries on just behind, just in front, that is, of David Baker, who's in 13th position. Baker's got a good run here though. He's going to get past Michael Blake now. Baker's late on the brakes in the CQRS line car. He's trying to go around the outside. There's not a hell of a lot of grip there, but there is some camber. And Baker, the season 7 champion, uses that to his advantage. And gets through then on Blake. Getting after Alex Everett now. And Ricardo Castrolado then. It's been a very good lap for him, Adam. He's up to nearly 1 second of the lead.
Swidiewicz also just getting past Janowski on that lap, so Swidiewicz cracks the top 5, but yeah, Ricardo Castrolado doing well in the opening of this race. We'll see what Sterling Chepelewski and Andreas Katz can do. Of course, they're driving for Apex. They've also got another Apex teammate behind them in Wojciech Swidiewicz, of course, the reigning champion. But Castrolado, pro drivers, impressed this season. Didn't have the best of race 2s after he collided with Katz going through the final corner. But this time, he might be able to end up taking the win here. Hackerson isn't no slouch, though, either. Taking a few wins in the Club Series and in the Kia Cup Series that we also broadcast on Apex Racing TV as well. Multi-talented driver in many different divisions here on iRacing, and he's only 7 tenths behind.
Yeah, he is indeed, and Hackerson very much used to this Kia Optima. Competes in the clubs. He's a Club 73 touring car champion of season 1 as well, so he knows his way around this car pretty much so. And but this is why Alex Simpson, you know, got the checkbook out, signed Sterling Chepelewski, Andreas Katz, Wojciech Swidiewicz, because I don't think he really got the checkbook out. I'll have to ask him on that one. But these are the performances you sign these guys for, aren't they?
Yeah, exactly that. You know, they know the system well, and couldn't quite get the result that they wanted to in that last one. But here they are now. You know, played the reverse grid really, really well, and 3 cars already in the top 5. So It's going to help them with the team points, of course.
It does help when you fix the wheel of fortune as well, doesn't it?
Well, you know, they've got that on their side as well, haven't
One of
they?
many bonuses, yeah.
I best not make jokes about that. As just in case. As oh, is that Baker hitting Alex Everett up the rear? It is.
Close.
Who's behind them?
It's sorry, it's the CQR car of Ash Sutton. Guess who? Surprise! It took me a while there, didn't it?
We get there at the end.
Sorry, I was trying to get to. Here he comes. Up the inside.
The last of the late breakers, and Baker is through.
And he's pretty there. Sorry, I was trying to get him, but every time I kept going down the driveway, it would go to a car in the pit lane. Yeah, he's through. Baker into 11th place now. Alex Everett down to 12th. Baker up 7 positions since the start of the race. Alongside him and Ash Sutton, they're both some of the biggest movers in the field. I think the official biggest mover is Frederick Rasmussen, who's up 16 spots since the race started.
That's very good from him. And he's actually right with Daniel Kraft, and this could be interesting, couldn't it? DQR versus Pro Sim. Kraft versus Rasmussen. And Kraft was one of the fastest drivers in race 2. Do what he can do in race 3 then. Oh, Rasmussen really close now. Behind them is Richard Gore as well. And then it's Robert Graham, who's right up there in race 2. Rasmussen's very late on the brakes. He tries to slide the car into the corkscrew. The side by side down the hill goes Rasmussen, and he takes the position. Very, very good. We were saying just how well Daniel Kraft's been doing. I think he's suffering out there a tiny bit, Adam, with something.
Struggling a little bit there, Dan Kraft, after doing all those overtakes in the second race. Obviously not helped too much by the fact that he's starting deep in the midfield here. He's only gained 3 positions, car free, since the start of the race. And he's got the apex car of Richard Gore right behind him now as they come over the line to start lap 5.
Paul Smith up in 7th, that's good to see.
Just on board with Gore, actually. It looks like Kraft's got some damage on his rear wing there as well, so I don't know what else he's got, but he's obviously taken a bit of a hit somewhere, which is maybe why he's not quite showing the pace that he had in the last one.
Yeah, that makes sense, because he was probably quicker than Rasmussen in race 2, so yeah, suffering with the aero. It's Kraft at the minute, looking back through the field. We need to give some of these guys a bit of camera time, don't we, really? Alex Smolensky is, off goes Stuart Atkinson. He's well off. With the gravel, that allows his boosted teammate Andrew Whitehead to go through into 28th place. But then going back behind them is Alex Smolensky, who's just got past Nathan Davis. Got race 2 winner Roy Verke, who starts at 26th. Actually gone down 7 places. Sometimes what happens, isn't it, though, if you take a bit of an unexpected win, it's shoved right back in the middle of the pack somewhere, Adam, and pretty difficult to make any hay, because you've got some of the faster guys behind, and you've got, in theory, some faster ones in front as well.
Yeah, you have to get readjusted, don't you, after being out front. Your aggressive driving starts to settle down a little bit, as just having a look at some other battles. Michael Blake and John Roberts almost wheel to wheel there. In fact, it might still carry on going down the straight. Michael Blake in that Alfa Latex car 44, and he's now got John Roberts going at the inside, the Pro-Am champion from 2015.
I'm going to make a little update on another former BSR race winner. That's Steve Richardson, and he is in the Pro Sim machine the Sim Gear car, this year. So Richardson in 39th place. See him out there. He missed the first half of the season, first part of the season. No, we're nowhere near half this season. We're only on round 31 of 140. Hey, it's been fun so far this season, though, hasn't it? I think this is the best one yet.
Definitely, I think it's right up there. Never before we had these many cars represented on the grid. Now we haven't got too long to go, actually. We're into the second half of the race here of race 3 of 4. We've got another one to go after this as well. We'll get another reverse grid.
Got CQR train going on here. Paul Smith is in 7th. Then you've got... he's not 7th anymore, actually. He was 6th, wasn't he? But now that 6th is going to be taken by
damage as well.
Michael Hall.
Things happen on the
7th and Smith is 8th. So Max Wright's the Max right. Oh, he's actually just dropped down behind these CQR cars on this lap. So
Wonder you might have had a bit of contact with Portsmouth, because Portsmouth's got might be suffering a little bit of some front right damage. I'll see if I can see if anything happened.
Both ended up behind Oulton Janowski. I'm not sure they were before that, so we'll have to see. But now the CQR train can chug along. I think they're going to struggle to make any more positions though, because Oulton Janowski's pretty quick, as we've seen, on Kia World Series champion, and then you've got this leading group. These 5 very, very fast drivers: Estrelido, Hakkisen, Chepelevsky, Katz, and Wojciech Svidovic.
Yeah, Katz, as Janowski goes off with a kink. Andreas Katz in the same position as where he started, 5th in the grid. Svidovic in front of him gained 6 positions. Chepelevsky in 3rd, 1 position gained, and the same for Hakkisen as well. They're all 1.5 seconds behind though, as that CQR train of Hall, Baker and Sutton seems to get ever more intriguing as they go through this left-hander. Lap 7, when we get to Long, we'll be on lap 8 and there'll be 3 laps to go. What does Sutton do here? Does he try and get past his teammates? Baker really looking impatient to get past Hall as they go into the final corner.
Tough one, isn't it? Baker's leading the championship. But Sutton's probably the fastest driver out of the 3 on this circuit, so yeah, I don't really know. We've got another former race winner of this season, Jake Blackall. He's trying to put pressure on Jack McIntyre, who won a race at the Nürburgring, didn't he, in 2016.
He might have even grabbed a win this season as something's happened.
Blackall just nudged McIntyre. McIntyre has to go all the way around the Andretti hairpin through the dirt, and he's just in front of Sven Glatzel now, number 23, who's had a bit of a quiet one tonight. Sven, but not a quiet season. He's done very well indeed. He's was in 5th place before the meeting began. So in fact, before the race began, he's only 7 points ahead of Michael Hall. So Hall's looking on course to take those points. Yeah,
he didn't have. He had a good race 1 where he started at the back because of a penalty he picked up, and since he got himself into the midfield, he hasn't been able to make much ground after that.
No, exactly, and Hall's actually holding up his teammates now. I think they've all got a shot at Oulton Janowski, who seems to be struggling for pace. But it looks like they're reluctant to make any changes here, CQR. It's train Hall ahead of Baker, ahead of Sutton. And actually, no disrespect to Hall, but I think the pace order's probably the other way around, isn't it?
Yeah, it is almost, and this is the highlight of a reverse grid, isn't it? You've got these guys there, then you've got Baker in the middle, and you've got Ash Sutton behind us. Here comes Baker actually as we come across the line, start the penultimate lap, lap 9.
Everett versus Simmons is side by side, and that's for 12th position. Oh, they make contact as Everett was sort of backing it into the corner. Made contact with Simmons. Simmons is side by side on the exit. Behind them, you've got McIntyre and Glatzel going side by side, but they're still really close together, Simmons and Everett. It's a fantastic battle this time.
Yeah, 2 great battles going on at the same time. You've got the CQR still going at it, and now you've got those 2. It's still not over between Everett and Simmons going into this left-hander here. On the inside goes Simmons, but round the outside goes the Fanatec car, and I think he should be able to hold on. But then again, the corner will go left in his favour, but he's just clear. Yeah,
that's good driving by Alex. I bet Sutton's actually looks ahead of the CQR group here.
Yeah, it's still a shuffle around, isn't it? But David Baker's still that piggy in the middle, and there goes an analogy. He's not been able to get in front of a Hall on that occasion. Instead, he's just been passed by Ash Sutton.
I think Sutton can get Janowski as well, you know. In fact, he's right with Janowski, who's really so slow out there at the minute. The Bulgarian driver, or Sim Gear, number 33. But yeah, it's definitely more likely for Sutton to get a place here and possibly to help Baker get through as well, and Hall, if he can. Close between Chepelevsky and Svidovic as well at the line. That was only 0.2 of a second.
Oh, Sutton through.
That's a nice move.
Good move on Janowski there. You couldn't really do much about it. Janowski's not giving up though as we start the last lap. Turns in.
Oh, Sutton parks the car on the apex. He wants to give Baker a little bit of a help.
Janowski fighting back, but Baker surely will set him up out of here. There he goes. No. Survive, just about.
He's probably glad he didn't go for that gap in the end.
Yeah, put the brakes on Baker.
Baker, and yeah, Janowski just a bit of the a little bit of a mobile chicane in this race, which is a bit unusual for Julian because he's had some cracking pace in the last few races. But race winner, of course, the other week. In the final lap, though, it's almost time for Riccardo Castrolido to take the checkered flag round the penultimate corner. He comes, and it's just the left-hand hairpin standing between him and victory. Well, Pro Sim had the best meeting, but Riccardo Castrolido did provide some good medicine for them. He wins here at Laguna, and Ben Axon takes a great second place, on pace ahead of Chepelevsky and Savinovic. Very, very good indeed. Katz in 5th. 6th is going to be Sutton. Janowski hangs on for 7 over David Baker and Michael Hall. Still going for it here. Laidler, Kraft, Graham and Smolensky. And Matt Bunn's in there as well. It's going to be a close one, but I think it's going to be single file over the line, just about.
Oh, good battle here. Colin Cunniff versus the Pro Sim Car 15. That's Kip Stevens going on their way to the line. Cunniff looking at the inside.
Thought about it, didn't he, Colin Cunniff? Oh, and that's a slightly slow-moving Steve Richardson ahead of them as well. Richardson's going to get 38th place. Going to be 39th for Stevens and 40th for Colin Cunniff. Thorstein Helgeson is 41st, and then Jamie Ayres, final car to finish the race, and his car, his GT Omega racing car. It's a little bit of a mess out there.
Wonder if we might get a full for this one. I'd like one again after the action we saw in race 2, but yeah, another good entertaining race there with Castrolido being one of the first drivers today that did it lights to flag. I can't remember who won race 1. That shows you how much action's gone on. But yeah, good job from Castrolido to end up taking the win there.
Yeah, I'll be honest, I can't remember either. So we'll bring that for you later on. But yeah, fantastic race from Castrolido there, and he started on pole position, got a very good start. He held off the challenge of Chepelevsky and Hackerson. Yeah, taking the win, and that'll give him some good confidence.
For the finishing order then. Race victory for Riccardo Castrolido, and well done to Pro Sim as well. I think that makes it 3 different teams winning in the 3 races we've had today. Then second, Ben Hackerson. 3rd, Vasiliy Chepelevsky. 4th for Wojciech Savinovic. 5th, Andreas Katz. 6th, Ash Sutton. 7th for Julian Janowski. 8th for David Baker. 8th, he finished in 8th. His car number's 2. That makes 6 if you subtract the 2 of them. Then 9th, Michael Hall, and 10th for Paul Smith. 11th for Max Wright. 12th, Alex Everett. 13th for Sven Glatzel. 14th for George Simmons. 15th for Frederick Rasmussen. I think that is the biggest mover in the field in that race. He gained 23 positions. Then 16th for Jake Blackwell. 17th, Pete Howard. 18th, John Roberts. 19th for Lee Berridge, and then 20th for Richard Gore. 21st, Michael Blake. 22nd, Jack McIntyre. 23rd, Rusty Lader. 24th, Dan Kraft with Rob Graham. 25th. 26th, Alex Smolensky. Matt Bunn in 27th. He started 27th as well. Ross McFarlane, 28th. 29th for Laura Bond, and 30th for Andrew Whitehead. Nathan Davis, 31st. 32nd for Stuart Atkinson. 33rd for Roy Ververke. 34th is Matthew Keeber, with Scott Malcolm in 35th. Mark Woodhouse in 36th. 37th for Simon Roden, 38th Steve Richardson, 39th Kip Stevens, and 40th for Colin Cunniff, 41st for Thorstein Helgeson, 42nd for Jamie Ayres, and then the cars that didn't finish the race. Gareth Fickling out along with Dave Christie, Diogo Melro also out along with Stuart McFadden, who I think that's double DNF for McFadden actually, who was involved in the chaos in race 2. Lorne Murray also out, and Stephen Baxter and Nicole Foggy barely got going in this 3rd race.
Yeah, there were quite a few drivers who were out early on, but yeah, I mean, we could potentially have quite a large reverse grid, and Alex Simpson is the one who's going to provide us with that number. Yeah, what are your thoughts on that one?
Yeah, I enjoyed that one. Good race. Yeah, just let's see what's going to happen. Like you say, I'm not sure with the fall. Let's see what we get on that. So it was a bit hectic, I think, in race 2. So I think if we can numbers fairly small again, it'll be good. Right, looking at that, well, I might as well spin it while I'm here. Here we go then. Gonna miss the fall, but don't think it's gonna be very small.
40. 40 is Colin Cunniff. Well, he had a pit lane start for race 2, but hopefully he'll be in the front for this one. Kip Stevens second. Always good to see him at the front. Same for Steve Richardson. He's going to be third. Simon Roden's going to be fourth, and fifth is going to be Mark Woodhouse.
Right then. That'll be fun. So join us back here for the final time tonight in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship when it continues from Laguna Seca.
Simulated racing can be awesome, but it can also be kind of a free-for-all. Interestingly, auto racing faced the same problem in its earlier days. Whether it was on the back roads, the beaches, or the city streets, the racing was fun. But there was always a certain level of chaos and danger, until some folks came along and put some order to all of this. Stuff like official racetracks, regulations about weight and equipment, and enforcement of standards. That's what gave us high-speed excitement, fast-paced action, and photo finishes. That's when racing became racing. The guys over at iRacing.com have made the same transformation in the world of sim racing. Sure, they've got the most accurate tracks and realistic cars out there, but that's just the start. See, iRacing analyzes the performance and results of each driver in every race, so you can be sure you're always placed in races where the competition will be tight, and that those reckless drivers who ruin it for us all are kept in the pits. Not to mention that with over 45,000 active members already in their vast community, you can find races day and night, so you can always get in on the action. You can even join a league of your favorite series. And since updates are always automatic, you don't have to worry about software and can focus on the track. Zip up your fire suit and check out iRacing.com.
On the outside, contact made. 56 slides it into 4. Who's going to be into stripe? Dead even. Give it to Ryan Truex. Truex is your winner over Tandy.
iRacing.com is a sim racing game that combines a true-to-life racing experience with an online community of virtual racers from all over the globe. iRacing offers a multitude of officially licensed cars and tracks, laser scanned with millimeter accuracy. Their car models and mechanical systems are based on real-world physics and engineered in cooperation with manufacturers and race teams. iRacing's web-based interface allows members to compare stats and test drive any combination of car and track instantly. Their skill license system ranges from rookie to pro, ensuring members are always pitted against those with similar skill sets. Members are able to sign up for a weekly race series, compete in time trials, host a private race with friends, and participate in racing leagues created and run by the community. With over 60,000 members, iRacing works in partnership with renowned motorsport organizations like SRO Motorsports Group to deliver virtual races based on the real-life Blancpain GT series. iRacing's Blancpain Endurance Series features team racing, giving members the ability to build a team and participate in races ranging from 3 hours to 24 hours. Additional partners include NASCAR, IMSA, V8 Supercars, IndyCar, allowing members to race in their very own 24 hours of Spa, Bathurst 1000, Daytona 500, and many more. iRacing.com, delivering the most authentic racing experience short of getting into a real race car.
Final race tonight in the iRacing MSA British Sim Racers Touring Car Championship from Laguna Seca in the United States. Andrew Woodhouse, Adam Bath and Alex Simpson bringing you all the action here. And Adam, it's the last one of the evening. We're up for seeing some shenanigans out there. 18 degrees Celsius, 19 degrees track temperature. Could be some interesting driving going on in the first lap.
Yeah, we've been really let down by the weather, really, since we've come up to Monterey for the race meeting. We were going to be at Oulton Park in Cheshire, and I think we've probably got pretty much the same conditions we would have got if we'd been there. But I'm really interested by this reverse grid. We've got Kip Stevens back at the front. We've got Steve Richardson. It's shades of the BSR like season 1 and 2 all over again. So let's see if those guys can perform in this one with 50+ cars on the grid again.
Stevens was the champion, of course, of seasons 1 and 2, as you mentioned. He doesn't seem to have great pace around Laguna here today. It doesn't seem like it's one of his best tracks, but he's always out there pushing hard. Could have won the title maybe in 2015, Adam, if stuff had gone slightly differently.
Could have done, yeah, and believe it or not, it was Wojciech Savidovic that pretty much ended his championship aspirations back in 2015. Of course, we know how that season ended. How could we forget? But yeah, let's hope we get something similar like that this season. Running through the grid, Colin Cunniff is actually going to be on pole. He's taking his spot on the grid. Kip Stevens, I hope he takes his spot because I'd like to see him at the front, and he does. Steve Richardson in 3rd, Simon Rhodes in 4th, Mark Woodhouse in 5th. We always good to see a Woodhouse up inside the top 5. Scott Malcolm in 6th, 7th Matthew Keever, 8th Roy Ververke, 9th Stuart Atkinson, and 10th Nathan Davis. Of course, Savidovic, Chepelevsky, and everyone else will be starting 37th and 38th. Towards the back of the grid. Hackerson in 39th as well, and Castrolado, our race fee winner, will be starting in 40th. The car starting at the back, we've got some big names there. Diogo Melro, 2-time Club Series champion, he'll be starting in 44th. Stuart McFadden in 45th, he's just hoping for a finish at this rate. And Lorne Murray 46th, Stephen Baxter 47th, and Nico Foggy will be starting in 48th.
Alright then. Very, very good. Last race of the evening then. We're ready for the start. In the BSRTC. 48 cars to tackle Laguna Seca for the final time tonight. Let's go, and Colin Cunniff gets away well from pole position. It's a decent start by Stevens. He's managed to get up into, managed to keep that 2nd place. Steve Richardson in 3rd place. And then it's the 27 of Scott Malcolm trying to go around the outside. Mark Woodhouse going through into 4th. Or GT Omega Racing briefly. Don't know if you can keep that one. Oh, big one in the background. Dear. I think it's McFarlane.
Yeah, Roden and McFarlane. So two Scottish teams coming together. And slow down for an Apex car. That's Nathan Davis.
Davis is on a horrible meeting again. It's just not clicking for him. 5th car on the Apex Racing team.
There'll be a killer on the opening lap. You can just see all them flying by.
Yeah. The worst time to get a slow down, isn't it? Is lap 1.
Oh dear. A few cars around. That's an Automat car. That's Roy Ververke, the race 2 winner.
Oh, Ververke started in 8th and he was up there, and now he's not.
Well then,
that was a world-class bit of commentary there, wasn't it?
Oh, an Automat car's up again. It's Scott Malcolm.
And Malcolm was up in the top 5.
Now he's not.
Corkscrew, and now he's not. He's dropping down the order. Oh dear. Scott Malcolm.
5th position now, and Matthew Keever is holding off Stuart Atkinson as we go into Ollie Was. It's all sorts of chaos here going into the final corner. That's Dan Kraft.
Scott Malcolm was sinking down the order faster than Spain's hopes in the Eurovision Song Contest last week. As Colin Cunniff, however, is singing the right tune at the front of the field. Did you see what I did there? As it goes into the Andretti hairpin, number 61, who what?
Oh, it's Dan Kraft, it's Frederick Rasmussen, and you may say nil point for effort there.
A few guys will be getting nil point at the end of this one, I must admit. Rasmussen will be hoping it's not him because he had 4 DNFs when Alex Simpson magically caused his engine to explode at one of the races earlier on in the season. I've never seen such a commentator's curse, Alex. It was brilliant.
Well, apart from mine on Ashley Blake Cup, but yeah.
Well, that's it, that's true.
I think that one just about smashes everyone, ever.
He didn't make his engine blow up, but
I just caused him to spin and get crashed into by someone else.
2 people, I think. Colin Cunniff, though, in all seriousness, though, he's had such bad luck as Cunniff in the past that he's due a really, really good result, and at the minute he's doing exactly what he needs. He's a very, very quick driver. He's a top 15 driver, probably on merit here in this championship, and he is away and clear of Kip Stevens. In third place is still the veteran Steve Richardson. He's having a fantastic run here for Sim Gear, and up the inside is the GT Omega racing car of Mark Woodhouse. And Woodhouse on the podium, that's good to hear.
These guys have been handed a bit of a big favour here. Dan Kraft, who looked like one of the main contenders to challenge those guys at the front, has been given a slowdown penalty.
He's been bashed by George Simmons.
He's only just served it as well, yeah, Dan Kraft, that slowdown penalty. He was up inside the top 10, maybe even pushing for the top 5. He's now down to, what, about 24th place now.
Steve Richardson is actually down to, I don't know what happened to Richardson actually in the last couple of corners, because he's down to 6th.
Yeah, Rasmussen's through. Rasmussen, the pro driver, 7th position now. Yeah, he's now in 7th position. Rachel Rasmussen, the Scandinavian, is in 6th, 20 positions gains for him. The pro driver, 7 seconds off the lead, with 1 lap free of 10. Might be a bit too far out of reach. The cars have retired so far. Alex Smolenski's out, Rusty Laidler's out, and Andreas Katz is also out.
Good news for Matthew Budd. He's just sided his way past Andrew Whitehead. That's into 8th position.
Oh, here comes the auto wreck.
Robert Graham, no, that's going wide. He's off into the gravel. He's okay though.
Still going. Forces his way through.
Whitehead, he still persists, Graham. He's not coming up on that one, Graham. So there comes Ashley Sutton.
He's going to have to get going now because Ash Sutton's arrived on the scene.
Sutton's going to make him get going, isn't he? Very, very soon. These two blocking the course for Sutton. Oh, and Graham just decided to defend a bit late. Turns across Sutton. Sutton hits him. Goes wide. This is an almighty scrap. Now Laura Bond's involved. She's just got past Andrew Whitehead. Whitehead almost bashes into Richard Gore. Not getting a bit feral out there.
He's going to get bitten though. Oh, into the first corner. All on the inside.
It's gone by everybody. Just to behave themselves.
Whitehead's got, who's that now arriving on the scene? That's Pete Harrod in the race up with CQR Cup.
Also Sven Glatzel is just behind Harrod as well. Michael Hall's in there too for CQR. And David Baker moving his way through the field with Jack McIntyre behind them. So very, very good little battle in the midfield here. Excellent stuff.
Great team out of Dirt and Dustin Dirt getting kicked up there as Gore continues his pursuit to get past Laura Bond, almost touching there. And a possible slowdown penalty for a Sim Gear car in front of them. It looked like just one.
Richardson, I think, is moving out of the way. I think Steve Richardson just struggling to find the motivation to fight these drivers. I think he knows that he needs to finish races and get points for the team, and that's what he's doing. Laura Bond side by side with number 35. That is E. Berridge, who goes over the inside of the corkscrew. Surely that's a slowdown penalty. Oh, and it was almost into the face of Sven Glatzel there.
That was the Valentino Rossi line, wasn't it, from that epic battle with Casey Stoner a few, well, maybe 10 years ago, as they go through the penultimate corner.
Ridiculous, isn't it? Valentino Rossi is nearly 40 years old, still going at the very top of motorsport.
Oh, free wide nearly. That's Richard Gore, isn't it? The one with yellow mirrors, indeed it is. He's trying to get past Rob Graham and Steve Richardson. There's Matthew Keeber drops down the order, and so does Mark Woodhouse. Him and Rasmussen having a battle.
Graham, Gore and Richardson into the Andretti hairpin side by side. Off goes Richardson, and he's back on. Going to be prey to Laura Bond here. Bond goes all the way around the outside. The Pro-Sim car takes over. What I believe is that 11th place?
Yes, it is. Yeah.
Laura having a good run out there. I do want to take the opportunity as well to just send best wishes, and all our thoughts are with Nicky Hayden. He had a horrible accident on his push bike, and yeah, absolutely terrible thing that's happened to him. Oh, look at Ashley Sutton.
Yeah,
that
just saw that.
Fantastic. Right now, the
that
outside and turned is Matthew Keeber. Stuart Atkinson there ends up turning the Alfa Tech car. Dustin says thank you very much, I don't need to defend that position. And up into 7th place is, sorry, that's 6th place for 5th place. Ashley Sutton, sorry, that is, isn't it?
Didn't turn in, well, I can't really tell whose fault that is. I might say that's a racing incident, really. Keeber going for the racing line, but the Stuart Atkinson car was still there.
Look at Freddie Rasmussen now, he's right with Kip Stevens.
teammates.
Stevens lets his teammate through, and that's maybe smart on the veteran because Rasmussen, the rookie in this series, but he's far from a rookie in iRacing on the service. He's a world champion, a world championship driver in the long-time GT series. He could be a world champion, of course, at the end of the season.
What's happened to Nathan Davis then? Something's happened there. I think it might be a disqualification, and it is all kicked off in the corkscrew, it looks like. Oh dear.
Oh, there's loads of them, isn't there? Richardson is out, Blackhall, Berridge, Nathan Davis, Jamie Ayres. I think this has taken quite a few people.
Yeah, Jamie Ayres, what happened to him? Because he towed straight back to the pits. Just having a look on the replay now.
Alex, you're the man with the plan. Save that.
Oh dear, they both went literally well done, that guys. They did the high jump and managed to surpass the bridge.
Oh, that was a mess, wasn't it?
Jamie Ayres and...
yeah, I'm just trying to see exactly who it was, how it happened.
Oh, it's someone going across the... It's Richardson, I think, who went wide at the corkscrew. There's all sorts going on there. Was that Ben Hackerson that ended up flying up in the air?
Yeah, him and... good grief, yeah, they managed to clear that wall, that bridge with ease.
Wow.
But...
A bit of pole vault going on out there.
Can't find it, sorry guys.
Ah, no, you're alright. Yeah, it was a bit of a mess anyway.
There's a bit of a rejoin palaver, yeah, going down at the corkscrew basically. Right, lap 7 then. 127.3 for Colin Cunniff. Not too shabby a lap time there, and that's only 0.2 of a second slower than Frederick Rasmussen. Rasmussen's got a 6-second gap to close in 4 laps, which I don't think he's going to do unless he makes a mistake, Colin Cunniff. Kip's 24 positions gained there for Frederick Rasmussen, by the way. Kip Stevens is in 3rd now, with Mark Woodhouse in 4th. 5th is Ash Sutton, 6th is Matt Bunt, 7th is Stuart Atkinson, 8th is Richard Gore, 9th Rob Graham, and out the top 10 Lord Bond.
It really is who's going to be 3rd, isn't it? Is it going to be Stevens? Is it going to be Woodhouse? Is it going to be Sutton? There's a good chance of it being any of them.
Oh no.
Or
Baker and Whitehead have gone off. They must have been battling over the same position, I think.
Yeah, because Baker... Oh no. Baker's managed to...
Carry on, yeah.
Carry on. He's behind George Simmons and Alex Everett, so he's only lost a couple of places, Baker. Whitehead, he's just behind the group of Chepelevsky, Svidovic and McIntyre. Wow, Chepi and Svidovic are buried in the midfield, aren't they? Castellino trying to go around the outside of Andrew Whitehead into the corkscrew. Whitehead pushes back and Castellino is through. And that's number 40, that's Pete Harrod.
Sutton through, and Kip Stevens has lost 2 positions. Has lost 2 positions. One to Sutton, one to Mark Woodhouse as they come over the line to start lap 8. 3 to go. Sutton now in 3rd, 4th Woodhouse, 5th Stevens.
Cunniff, Rasmussen, Sutton, Woodhouse, and Stevens. Bunn in 6th, Gore 7th, Atkinson 8th, Graham in 9th, Glatzel in 10th. That's your running order at the moment. Glatzel and Graham going to battle in the Andretti hairpin, just ahead of Laura Bond. Good for Laura, she can get a top 10 in the Pro Sim car. Down the inside goes Glatzel. Here we go. Germany versus Scotland. And England behind with Bond.
There's a Euro 96 going on here.
That's it. Euro 96, possibly before you were born. Oh! Right in the... right in the rear of the automatic car goes Laura Bond.
Only a few months.
Oh dear. This makes me feel a little bit old. Not the mask, Alex, any questions about that? That was a great football tournament, wasn't it?
Fantastic football tournament, one of the best.
That was a great one. And
we've had for a while anyway.
Yeah, the ending wasn't quite quite as good for us, but it was fantastic. First ever golden goal as well in a final, but we digress. Got some action to be going on in this championship.
Getting the check. Oh, there's no golden flag, but he's going to get the check.
Around 23rd place here, guys. Look at this monster battle that's going on.
Oh, that's the 2 CQR cars. That's Harrod and Smith. That's Hackerson, number 13, and that is 53 is McFadden, 45th on the grid. Very, very good indeed. And then behind them, you've got a battle with... Where's Nico Foggy gone? He's lost a couple of places. He's actually lost out to Melrose and to Michael Blake.
Looking off here then. Up the inside goes McFadden, up the inside goes Smith. into the first corner. McFadden pinned on the outside here, but he comes back across Paul Smith, and he's got a good run on the exit because Pete Harrod goes pretty wide down the exit of the first corner. Both have got a lot of damage to the front. And McFadden trying to get the cut back on the exit of turn 2. May have a little look at the inside of turn 3, but things better off it.
Alex Everett and Wojciech Svidovic are knocking spots off each other for 16th. It's a fantastic battle. And also involved is Jack McIntyre, Stelian Chepelevsky and Ricardo Castellino, who won earlier on. Survival out there, I think, isn't it? It's becoming less of a race and more just, say, survival exercise.
Get to the end, yeah. Not too many of these guys will have too many incidents left, judging by the state of their cars. Pete Harrod and everyone else into the corkscrew they go. McFadden back up the inside. Smith's there though, Stewart, watch out for him, and Smith's back up the inside there.
Prepare the battlefield for massacre, I think is what they need to say. Not gentlemen, start your engines. It's a heck of a fight out there. And look at that. Oh, look at this, it's going on. The 3 wide. Baker, Simmons and Eber. They were. Simmons is going to lose out to Baker here. Baker thinks about the inside. Oh, also going through is Robert Graham having a great battle with Laura Bond.
Here comes car 2, Baker up the inside of car 25, Kiba.
A P10. And yeah, Baker going into 11th position.
Maybe you could almost even say happy BSR race night and may the odds be ever in your favour, as Wojciech Svidovic gets.
Well, it is kill or be killed, isn't it? A little bit, I must admit.
Svidovic has just ended up being demoted to 20th place. I don't know what happened to him there, but he's now a bit of a way behind the next car, which is that is Castrolado.
Very, very close in there. Oh, big battles going on the final lap.
Oh, Gore versus Gore versus another one as well, as that's just nearer the front. But here comes Colin Cunliffe. Yeah,
Colin Cunliffe is into the final corner, ladies and gentlemen. And
he loves this track
for Northern Lights Racing. Comes across and he takes the win here at Laguna Seca, the final round of the evening. That's his second career win at this place. Fredrik Rasmussen in second place. Has someone blown the motor?
Heard it.
Rasmussen, wasn't it? Possibly. After the line, Woodhouse in fourth. Stevens in fifth, very good indeed. Look at this, Simmons! No. Simmons into Graham.
Should be a drag race to the line there between the two, the Alphalatech and the Automech, and it's 3 wide behind them.
All sorts going on. Who's going to get that between Everett Mac? Oh, flipping heck.
That Chepelevsky that was in there, I can't tell.
Chepelevsky, Everett and
Castrolado.
That was very close. Everett got the better of that.
Yeah, 200ths between Cheppy and Castrolado. Cheppy was there in the end, only a few attempts behind them as well.
And there was only half a second between McFadden, Hackerson, Foggy and Roberts.
Max Wright coming through, completely oblivious to what's just gone on in front of him. He looks like he's had a fast repair as well. His car's looking showroom fresh really as he comes out the final corner. Not too many can say that as he comes over the line to take home what will be 37th place.
I wonder if he started from the pits actually. That's right, because
yeah, he started 30th, but
no damage.
Yeah, no damage, and he might put him to the pit lane. And you don't have a fast repair in this race either, so.
Oh.
Well, that, yeah, fast repair limit 0. So yeah, that must have been a pit lane start for Max.
That was a great race. I really, really enjoyed that one, and yeah, it's a perfect way to round off tonight's action from Laguna Seca. Adam, if you can, take us through the finishing on, please, my friend.
Hey, let's run you through the finishing order. Colin Cunliffe takes the win then. Well done. Fredrik Rasmussen second, third Ash Sutton. Ash Sutton having one of his better race meetings. It hasn't been going at all well recently. Just ask him about the BSR Billy Whiz fundraiser. Fourth for Mark Woodhouse, fifth Kip Stevens, sixth for Richard Gore, Matt Bunn seventh, 8th for Stuart Atkinson, 9th Sven Glatzel and 10th for Michael Hall. Laura Bond 11th, 12th Matthew Keeber, 13th Rob Graham, 14th David Baker, 14th. I was going to say that's double 6, but that's no, 14 is double 7. George Simmons 15th, 16th for Jack McIntyre, 17th Alex Everett, 18th for Stelian Chepelevsky, 19th Ricardo Castrolado, and 20th for Wojciech Svidovic. 21st for Andrew Whitehead, 22nd Pete Harrod, 23rd Paul Smith, 24th Diogo Melrope, 25th for Stuart McFadden, 26th Ben Hackerson, Nicole Foggy in 27th place after starting in 48th. That's still a good result from the man who was as high as still inside the top 5 in the championship, I think, going into this race meeting. 28th, John Roberts. 29th, Michael Blake. 30th, Scott Malcolm. 31st for Lord Murray. 32nd, Julian Janowski. 33rd is Stephen Baxter. 34th, Orstein Helgeson. 35th, Dave Christie. 36th, Roy Verke. 37th, Max Wright. And then the cars that didn't finish the race. Then it is Simon Roden, Steve Richardson, Lee Berridge, Jake Blackhall, Nathan Davis, Jamie Ayres, Dan Kraft, shame for him there, Andreas Katz 9 laps down, and then the cars eliminated on the opening lap. Ross McFarlane, Rusty Laidler, dear me, and Alex Smolensky. He was out very early on as well.
That was a terrible meeting for Laidler, wasn't it? Dear me. He had a really good start to the season in a lot of ways, but yeah, that one was just awful. I think you want to consign that one to the dustbin. Quick word from Alex just before we go. How was that meeting for you, mate? I really enjoyed watching that one.
Yeah, a thoroughly good meeting actually. Some good racing all through the pack as well. Obviously, I focused a lot more on the cameras today, so just able to show a little bit more of the odd little battle going on that perhaps you weren't covering a bit further back. So yeah, lots of great racing throughout. You know, so yeah, Laguna delivering again.
It did, and got one interview on the way. We've got the race winner of race 4, Colin Cunniff, joins us in the commentary box. Colin, it's good to have you up here again.
It's getting annual this at Laguna Seca. 3 years
well
in a
done.
row.
Well done, mate. Fantastic. Likes to flag victory. And okay, the reverse grid helped you a little bit, but once you got there, you delivered in fine style.
I was due some karma after 3 quali ban and 2 pit starts, so I felt it was a wee bit harsh on myself, so to get that win was pretty good.
What's you seem like you're really enjoying the series again this season, and been up there regularly in the top 15, and this win, does it give you the confidence to push on for the rest of the season?
You've got to take it week by week. I still believe I've got 6 points on my licence, so I just need to go through the next few weeks and being careful, because if it just takes a couple of weeks of bad penalties, as Nichols finding, and then that's if you go back to the grid, you find that the penalties accumulate more and more, and you end up just having to just try and get through 4 weeks clean.
Got a new team, NLR, and how's that going at the start of the season? Is the team getting together pretty well?
Yeah, everybody's when we can get together, is because of real life issues of getting everybody together on the same session. It's been quite difficult, but yeah, everybody's getting on really well. We're encouraging each other, so it's going to be each other that's going to get us through this. So we'll see how it goes for the season on, but hopefully working together a bit more closely will be all right.
No mechanical failures yet.
Yeah, next week my road cell's going to go or something like that. Now that you said that.
At least I don't do as good commentators' curses as the other two, though. That's something special, is that? But no, mate, well done, fantastic job from yourself. I'm
using the riff now, so that's probably another thing that could go wrong. So we'll just see.
By the way, is it helping? Or does it help you a little bit more in these chaotic situations? It
does actually, especially the first couple of weeks. Just with we'll have triple screens before, and your sort of peripheral vision's a lot better with the triple screens, but because you're just sort of using the peripheral vision with the Rift, you actually force your head to go around, and you actually take in a lot more information. So compared to that, as soon as I tried the Rift, I was just, I've got to get rid of the triple screens and just go the Rift all in. So yeah, it does make quite a bit of difference. It is worth going for.
Well, Colin, you know the drill, mate. Give you shout outs to the sponsors and the rest of the team.
I would, but I've not been briefed on them yet.
That's the oldest excuse in the book. And,
fire him now. Fired,
gone.
We'll see you at Laguna next year then.
That's it. I've got a year to learn them, so we'll see how it goes.
That's it. No, well done, mate. Anyway, we do appreciate your time, and yeah, hopefully we get to chat to you in victory lane, so to speak, a bit sooner.
It seems it's only Laguna Seca that I can win on, so let's say it'll be next year. I've had 3 victories in this series, and all 3 have came in the last race at Laguna Seca.
You've got 108 races left. I hope you can get at least one.
We'll see. Thanks.
All right, mate. We'll catch you later. Colin Cuniff there, and
And
Andrew
that,
Whitehead is with Adam Bath. But quickly, Andrew, you know, you're after loads of sponsors. He's got sponsors and he can't remember them.
I know, it's terrible, and I can't believe you've just absolutely nailed him with that mechanical failure malarkey. You know it's going to happen now, don't you?
Yep, probably. At least, like I said on the commentary, at least I'm not like Alex, who made Frederick Rasmussen's engine explode just by talking about him last week. So
I heard that.
So there we go. Right, Adam, yes, take it away with Mr. Whitehead.
Oh yeah, Mr. Whitehead, hello.
Hello.
How was the evening? It seemed pretty chaotic out there.
You know, it's mad. It's absolutely mad, because it's actually a very easy track to defend at. So you can really hold people up quite significantly. But then, of course, people start to get impatient, and you have to learn when enough's enough and let them go. So, I mean, our focus is really get the cars home with as few incidents as possible, and just nail the consistency. You know, we've got 2 alien quick guys in the team and 3 sort of mid to backpackers. I'm the backpacker, obviously. John and Stuart are the mid packers. We kind of all do our own thing, but support each other along the way, and it seems to be paying off. I got a 7th. There's 2 top 10s in 2 weeks. That.
Yeah. If you get the reverse grid, when you see the reverse grid and see that you're going to be starting at the front, is it something that you're happy with, or would you rather be it be in the midfield where you don't have so many drivers queuing up to try and get by?
Scares the living daylights out of me. I'm totally out of my depth there. So you know, it's hard to know how much to defend, how much to let people go, how much to try and protect the 0 incidents. You know, drivers with my sort of capability are really fish out of water when you get right up at the sharp end like that. But you know, we do our best, and thankfully, I mean, as was last week, monumental pile-up behind me, which left me a nice gap. Same happened again today, I believe. It was sort of monumental pile-up behind, which gave me a lot of breathing room to maintain, you know, that sort of top 10 spot. And then, of course, George caught up with me and did a bit of rear gunning, so paid him back on the finish line for that.
It doesn't get any easier, does it? Next week we head to the Nordschleife on the 25th of May.
What's hard about that?
Nothing really. No, I don't know what I'm saying, but yeah.
We got the king of the ring in our team, remember?
Of course. Yeah, John Roberts. Yeah. Well, before we let you go, what about this season? Do you reckon it's probably going to be one of the best ever, considering the way it's going at the moment?
I like the way everything seems to be shifting around. I mean, you know, our consistency has got us into a nice position, and we're trying to focus on that consistency rather than going out and just aim for win all the time. Although the 2 quicker guys really are up for that, but no, it's really nice to see the way things are shaking up, and those reverse grids, the way they're working this year. I mean, it's brilliant. I mean, it's such a shame, really, that it doesn't matter where Ash starts. He always ends up in the top 10. You know, stick him right on the back, and he'll still pass 40 odd cars and get a podium. So, you know, for some people it makes no difference, but for people like myself and Stuart and John and some of the other drivers in that sort of mid pack, it really is nice to at least have a chance of being at the front, and it really does mix it up. It's a great season. I love it.
Well, yeah. Last question, as always. If you can, reel off the sponsors that you wish to thank.
Well, we haven't got any, but I would like to give a shout out to SimGear, sim-gear.co.uk. Absolutely fantastic stuff. 3D printed, bespoke bits of kit. I've just got one of the button boxes. I mean, you know, I'm a mid-pack driver, so it's not much of an endorsement from me, but the build quality, the design, the attention to detail, absolutely phenomenal. Go check them out. sim-gear.co.uk. Brilliant stuff.
Oh, there we go. And yeah, last interview of the day, Andrew Whitehead. Thanks for talking to us.
No worries. Thank you.
Always good to hear from Andrew Whitehead, one of the most accessible team principals in the league, and from Alex, that is. But yeah, no, fantastic, fantastic job by Boosted tonight, and as normal, I think they're really moving up the field. Okay, thank you everybody for watching here tonight on BSR Race Night. We've had a hell of a lot of fun here at Laguna Seca, and we hope you have too. Join us again at the weekend for more action. On Saturday, we've got the Pen Power European V8s, and we've got is BSR Kia Cup back?
Who knows?
What's that? Sorry. Yeah. No.
Oh, come on! Is BSR Kia Cup back?
No. Not yet.
Not yet.
Not for.
So
I don't think until
got...
at least the next iRacing season. I think.
Ah, okay, right. So we've got the Club 73 Touring Car Championship on Sunday, along with the BSR Master MX-5s as well. All right, everybody. Thank you very much for joining us here on Apex Racing TV and iRacing Live, and we'll see you another time. Good night.